Hungry? I'm pretty hungry. Order up.
Oh, awesome.
Hurry, I'm starving.
And we are underway here at the Iceplex in Raleigh, North Carolina. The NC State Wolfpack and the North Carolina Tar Heels off to a quick start. North Carolina into the offensive zone, quickly turned back down the left wing. Sam Banashevitz, he'll hold on, drops it for Jimenez, and that'll be stolen away. Brendan Raditovich mercs it around the boards. Picked up on the near corner by Sam Banashevitz, up to the point. Cook, wrist shot, score! And right off the bat, NC State, a dagger. Excellent wrist shot from Andrew Cook. NC State, a 1-0 lead.
Wow. I don't think Scott Jackson ever saw it, so I'm going to chalk it up to that. But that is a soft goal by the North Carolina goaltender. He's got to have that save. That's exactly what his teammates are talking to him about right now. This is absolutely insane. First shot, 31 seconds in, goes in. Everybody's fired up. It's a capacity crowd here tonight. This is the best thing that could have happened for NC State, the worst thing that could have happened for the Tar Heels.
Well, we'll reset here at center ice. It's going to be Nathan Haas up against Will Bieberdorf here on the faceoff. Bieberdorf wins it for NC State. Back to Chris Wing at his own blue line. Cross-ice pass for Farhat. Up the right wing in the neutral zone. Jimenez dumps it deep. Johnson picks it up behind his net and sets it on a tee. Behind the net, controlled by Hawkins. Up the boards, moving along, A.J. Hamel. His pass misses the man, intercepted by Farhat, and he'll hold on to it in the defensive zone for NC State. Gives it off the boards to Chris Wing. One-timer up the boards, kept in, and it will be held at the point by the Tar Heels. Along the half boards, floated out by Banashevitz down the left wing. Chasing it is Jimenez. Luis Jimenez into the corner, battling for it. He's knocked off the puck by Nicholas Keith, and it'll be taken back by the Tar Heels. Stolen quickly behind the net by Jimenez, but he can't hold on, and the Tar Heels get it out. In neutral ice, North Carolina with the puck, off the glass and into the NC State zone. Quickly picked up by Farhat. Gives it to Jimenez. Cross ice for Sunda, but it's in his skates. A good chance there. If that's on the stick, Sunda has a breakaway.
Chris, this is interesting to me. North Carolina has teamed up with Nick Keith and Ian Hawkins as a defensive pairing. That's going to be their primary defensive pair throughout the night. These two have been teammates for a long time, dating back to Raleigh Youth Hockey days.
First shot on Joey Hall is an easy stop. Shot coming from Jonah Grafius. He puts it through the legs of the NC State defenseman, but still plenty of time for Joey Hall to see that puck. Not the case, though, Drew, on that last goal. I think you were right. I don't think that Jackson was able to see that at all.
No, and the only reason I chalk it up to that is because he didn't move, and it looked like he had the angle played very nicely. The puck truly had eyes.
Up the boards now with it, Fredenberg. He'll throw it down the left wing and into the corner. Giving chase, Garrett Sunda, thrown back up and brought out by North Carolina. Grafius with it. Crosses center and in offsides, as going in was Chris Viau. He was offsides on the far side, and it will be a face-off just outside of NC State zone.
And I'm surprised the officials are going to keep this one just back behind the blue line. Viau was so far ahead of the play, that could have been deemed intentional because North Carolina gave absolutely no effort to hold up.
Face-off, one back to the defense of NC State. Simon Lecter there, cross ice for Cook. Back behind the net for Lecter. Gets away from him, up along the half boards. With it now Kinney. He'll float it out into the center. A one-time pass will go all the way down, and it will be blown for icing. Andrew Cook not happy with that call. I think he thought the defenseman Dylan Lyle was kind of lollygagging down towards that puck, and he wanted it waved off.
Well, and Lyle is allowed to do that. It's at the official's discretion. In fact, I applaud the play because North Carolina needs as many whistles as they can get right now. They're lagging a couple of steps behind NC State, and they want to make sure that they're getting stoppages at every opportunity.
Raditovich to take the face-off up against Andrew Kristoff for NC State. In the skates of Kristoff, picked up by NC State. They'll bring it back up. Addison Oliver wrists one in on goal. Scott Jackson there. He'll pat it down and cover up for a face-off.
Scott Jackson is no stranger to playing in this arena. He's a Raleigh Youth Hockey Association kid, prodigy of the USPHL's Carolina Eagles goaltending coach Bill Horn. Very familiar with both players on his team and on the NC State Wolfpack. He'll be familiar and ready to go tonight.
Face-off taken by Oliver for NC State. Not strong enough on the face-off. It's taken back by Joseph Baglio. Baglio throws it around the boards, picked up behind the net by Lecter, moves it along for Oliver up the left wing, leaves it there for Kristoff. Back to Oliver and up to Kristoff again. 3-on-2 for NC State. Moving fast. Kristoff, wrist shot, stopped, loose in front, and it is not poked in by Oliver, who had a chance on the near post. With it again, now McDonald for NC State. Behind the net, he gives pressure. Puck tried to clear there by Spiro, but he has it knocked back in by Farhat. Up the near boards, now it will be brought out by Baglio. Cross-ice pass, looking for Hamel, can't find him, and NC State dumps it back into the Tar Heel zone and gets a change. Into neutral ice, Hamel up the right wing. Loses control, picked up by Gallagher for NC State, back to wing. All the way up to the red line, looking for Alfonsetti, doesn't get it. Icing is waved off as that puck goes all the way down behind the Carolina net. They'll turn it back up the left wing in the form of Jonah Grafius, stolen away by Gallagher at the blue line, and he'll dump it deep. Jackson behind his own net, gives it away to Klein, and they score! Behind the net, Jackson, a blind pass right to Zach Klein. He falls down, getting back to the net. Wide open goal, and NC State leads 2-0.
NC State is quite fortunate they didn't get called for goaltender interference. It was a clean play. It was a trip up. The reason there's no call on that play is the goaltender is considered fair game not to be contacted excessively back behind the goal crease. That's great awareness by Klein to see the goaltender has been knocked down inadvertently, drive to the net, and all of a sudden, on 3 shots on goal, NC State's up 2-0.
And they win the faceoff to restart play. Up the right wing, Luis Jimenez across the blue line, gets all the way across for Banishevich, drops to his wing. His slap shot soars high and into the glass. On the right half boards with it now, Jimenez. Holding there at the hash marks. Long cross-ice pass, blocked. He gets it back. This time, Jimenez throws it around behind the net. Stumbling with it is Banishevich, and he'll lose it. Picked up and brought back out by Hawkins. Ian Hawkins up through neutral zone. In he comes down the right wing. He's got a man, Grafius, in front. Drops for him, and it gets through his skates and all the way out of the zone. NC State pressuring Jimenez. Puck dumped deep, picked up by Farhat. He brings it up into the neutral zone, gives it down the right wing for Jimenez. Crosses at the top of the right circle. Has it poked away and out of the zone. And with it now is Krent. All the way back to Jimenez. He'll quickly wrist it deep. Stopped behind the net by Jackson. He leaves it there for Hawkins. He'll throw it around off of the skate of the referee and in the corner. Still there. Banishevich centering pass is stolen away. Brought back up by Sizemore. Sizemore gives it up to Raditovic. He'll bring it around behind the NC State net. Forced off the puck by Bly, and the puck's pushed up now by Banishevich. He gets it to Jimenez. All the way across the ice for Bly. Now this Wolfpack get it out of the zone. Pass looking for Banishevich from Bly. Makes its way all the way down the ice. That'll be another icing call on the Wolfpack. 14:56 left in the first period, and Drew, utter domination from the Wolfpack. They already lead 2-0.
Yeah, and it's hard to criticize a team who is up 2-0, but NC State is really going as hard as they can right now. I've been more than impressed. The one thing I would work on, they are having a little bit of spacing issues. They're crowding up in the defensive zone. If North Carolina can start finding stick-to-tape passes, they're going to be in good shape as well. But NC State's just got to spread out a little bit more. Other than that, it's been a 100% excellent effort.
Here comes Kristoff down the left wing, circling behind, tries the wraparound, and doesn't quite get it to go. Back up the ice, the Tar Heels, kept in by Fredenberg. He'll charge down after the puck, pressuring Spiro. Spiro gets it up to Hamel. He's forced off the puck by Cook. In the skates of Kren, in his girdle it looked like, and he'll knock it out of the pants, and play continues. With it now, Vincent Boudreau. Cross-ice pass for Spiro. Tries to loft it deep, glove down and controlled by Cook. Quickly stolen away, though, by the Tar Heels. Joseph Baglio behind the net. Loose puck picked up by Lecter in the left corner. He'll bring it up the left wing for the Wolfpack. Off the boards, tries to find Sunda in the neutral zone. Puck left there, picked up by Kristoff. He crosses the blue line, leaves it for Sunda. Slap shot, blocker down, rebound, they score! Garrett Sunda, and it's 3-0. NC State continues to roll.
If I'm Jeff Folkman, I'm calling my timeout right here, right now. and I'm looking at getting Scott Jackson out of the net. That is an inexcusable goal to allow. It hits him right in the crest of the uniform. You've got to have that 10 out of 10 times. Jackson doesn't. It's a juicy rebound. Great vision by Sunda to send it right back to the front of the net. North Carolina is in total disarray, and NC State is capitalizing on it.
You can certainly see the difference in the energy. NC State came out ready to play, and it really looks like the Tar Heels are only halfway here from Chapel Hill. McDonald wins the faceoff for NC State, gains the blue line, and sends it into the far corner. McDonald chasing. He's got help there from Oliver. Puck forced up the half boards by UNC. Big hit laid by Hawkins. He'll knock down Oliver for NC State, and it's brought back out by UNC. Puck poked away by McDonald. It'll skitter all the way down into the near corner and the UNC zone. They'll play with it there. Nick Keith behind the net for Hawkins. Gets it up the boards to Viau. He'll get it across the blue line. Working up. There was Lecter, but he can't make the play, and the puck makes its way all the way down in the NC State zone. Cook trying to clear. Glove down by Hawkins along the sideboards. Behind the net with it, Viau. There with Cook. Cook wins that battle. Looks for Oliver. Misses him, and it's held into the blue line by Keith. He throws it back behind the net. Lecter there with it for NC State. Sidesteps a man. He'll bring it up the right wing with space. Through the neutral zone and into the Carolina zone. Down the left wing. Lecter behind the net, still with control. Shakes off a check from Raditovic and works now along the right half boards. Finally stolen away. Brendan Raditovic there, and he clears it out. Chance coming for the Tar Heels. They bring it down quickly. Centering pass. Hall's there. I don't know if the shot ever made it on net, but the puck stays out, and now a huge hit laid. Doesn't look like a penalty is going to be called. Slow to get up is Lecter, and the puck makes its way all the way down behind the UNC net.
And that's where North Carolina is going to make their bread and butter on the physical plays. Good news is Lecter is off to the bench under his own power without a whistle. That's a clean body check laid well in the corner.
NC State with control in the neutral zone. Alfonsetti knocked off the puck there. That was number 12, Vincent Boudreau. Carolina knocks it into the NC State zone, picked up by defenseman Chris Wing, circles behind the net, up the right wing for Gallagher. Centering pass picked off there by Raditovic. Loose puck picked up by Jordan. Andrew Jordan knocked off the puck there by Klein, and now it will be picked up by Reed Farhat. Leaves it there for Gallagher into the NC State zone, offensive zone. Wrist shot there from the point from Farhat. Misses wide, picked up by Klein along the half boards. Up to the point. Wing and Klein, a little miscommunication. That puck slides out of the zone. Cross ice pass, though, in the neutral zone. Picks up Gallagher. He'll bring it down the right wing. Into the circle. Wrist shot off the skate of Sparrow. And turning back now, A.J. Hamel. Most dangerous player on this UNC team. Hamel crosses the slot. Has it poked away there by Kren. And he will pressure Hamel all the way up to the blue line, who throws it deep. Along the half boards they battle. Picked up by Gallagher. Centering pass knocked down by Alfonsetti. Trying to squeeze through two Carolina defensemen. Can't do so, but a loose puck poked away by Jackson. Dangerous play there at the defense by the Tar Heels. 11 minutes left in the first period. NC State has jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Stretch pass goes too long. Icing waved off. And NC State regroups in their own end.
Freezing icing. Whoop.
Here's the shot from Hamel, and it's squeezed by Hall. And a little bit of extracurriculars down there in front of the net as Hall holds on for the faceoff.
What I was about to say before that turnover, the reason the icing was waived is because there was a contest driving in toward the puck with no clear winner at the faceoff circle. Therefore, the mandatory call is for it to be waived. One thing I'm noticing, the reason NC State is getting so many shot opportunities, often good scoring opportunities, is North Carolina is sagging their defense back. What you're taught to do really from a young age as a defenseman is go ahead and move up and start to make your play at the blue line, in between the blue line and the top of the faceoff circle. North Carolina is lining up at the top of the faceoff circle and trying to make the play in that area. That's far too far back. NC State's taking advantage of it. They're getting good quality shots from a decent distance.
In the face-off circle, they battle. NC State eventually picks up the loose puck. Jimenez, cross ice, looking for Banashevitz. Too long. Icing waved off, and it'll be picked up by Hawkins at the defense. UNC controlling. Hawkins pressured by Banashevitz. He'll throw it all the way around the boards for Viau. He can't quite get to it. The puck makes its way out of the zone, picked up by Bly. Goes all the way across the ice for Jimenez. Up into the skates of Bieberdorf, but he holds on down the right wing. Pressured loosely by Hawkins. He'll carry it behind the net. Plenty of space along the left half boards all the way up to the point. Drops it there for Cook, who will take it down the left wing. Leaves it for Banashevitz at the hash marks, who throws it deep. Jimenez behind the net. Working along the right side into the corner. Now up along the right wing. Leaves it in the corner there for Bieberdorf. Pressured behind the net. Puck pinned up against the boards. They'll battle, and it'll be poked away by Jonah Grafius and into the far corner. Ian Hawkins there now, along with Viau, Cook, as well as Bieberdorf. NC State will win this battle. Banashevitz has it at the point. He'll bring it into the zone. Wrist shot held by the glove of the goaltender Scott Jackson. And NC State will get an offensive zone faceoff. With the break of play, we do want to take the time and thank tonight's sponsor. Wolfpack Sports Television would like to thank tonight's sponsor, Order Up. When placing your order on Order Up, enter the promo code HOCKEY and receive $7 off of your order. About ready to start play again. Garrett Sunda to take the faceoff for NC State up against Brendan Raditovich. NC State comes away with the puck in the right corner. Kristoff back to the point for Cook. Now along the half boards to Kristoff again. He'll circle behind the net. Along the left boards, now back up to the point, Simon Lecter. He goes for the shot, blocked down, and it'll be kicked out by the Tar Heels. They can't maintain control, and NC State turns it back immediately. Fredenberg pauses with Sunda offside. Now he'll bring it in, down the left wing, into the slot. Sidestep, Sunda leaves it for Fredenberg, but he can't get the shot off, and the puck slides into the near corner. Along the half boards, Kristoff up to the point. Cook holds the zone, throws it deep. Off the boards, picked up there by Sunda. It's loose in his skates. He'll take it now in the corner. With it, Raditovich as he gets the loose puck. Thrown around the boards by Sparrow. Kept in at the point by Cook. His shot tipped into the netting by Kristoff. And we'll see another face-off. I believe it should come out of the zone, but we'll see what the referees say.
If it deflected off of an NC State stick, it will, but it looks like it was deemed to have deflected off a Tar Heel stick, so it's going to stay down low.
8:48 left here in the first period. NC State a 3-0 lead over their rival, the North Carolina Tar Heels. To take the face-off, Oliver wins it back to Farhat. His wrist shot patted away and up into the netting over in the far corner by Jackson. And we'll see another offensive zone face-off for NC State.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out what to say. What does North Carolina need to do to get back into this hockey game? And right now the fact of the matter is they have not won one single loose puck. They have not laid one better body check except for maybe the one on Lecter down low in the offensive zone. NC State, utter domination, to use your words, Chris.
In the neutral zone, they'll battle. Loose puck picked up by Oliver, immediately stolen back by Nathan Haas. Cross-ice pass for Hamel, a chance, and the puck hops his stick. Left there for NC State's Jack McDonald. Up for Kinney. Down the left wing into the left circle. He leaves it there for Oliver. Spinning pass into the slot. Picked off by the defense. Left there now for Oliver, and the slap shot goes wide. And the puck now working its way up to the point, trying to force it out of the zone. Joseph Baglio, but he can't get it past Reed Farhat, and NC State holds their offensive end. Behind the net, Hawkins. Up the boards for Hamel, bounces over his stick, but the puck trickles onto the stick now of Nathan Haas into the zone. Shot blocked, and a rebound, diving for it, Joey Hall, but the puck doesn't make it back on net. Down in the near corner, they battle. Picked up by the Tar Heels. Baglio throws it in front. It'll be gloved down and cleared out by NC State. Not all the way out of the zone. The puck loose in front. And a good job by Mitchell Gallagher to tie up sticks. And a little bit of extracurriculars behind the play. No call. Just a warning, giving NC State a good chance down the other way. They don't score, though. Up the ice, picked off by Gallagher. Chance at the right circle, shouldered down by Jackson. Great wrist shot from Gallagher. He'll pick it up in the right circle again. Leaves it for Alfinzetti behind the net. He works into the right corner. Back up to the point, Kren. Slap shot. That one sticked away by Jackson and into the left corner. Picked up by Gallagher. Leaves it for Klein. Stolen away by the Tar Heels. And it's forced all the way out by Baglio. NC State resets. Kren in his own zone. Gains the blue line. Gives it up to Klein off his stick, and it's picked off. Back the other way. Jonah Grafius. Pressure from NC State. Centering pass. Not handled, but eventually picked up by the Tar Heels. Shot blocked by Bly. Looking for Klein. And it'll be too long, and this will be blown for an icing call. And the faceoff goes all the way back down to the NC State end.
Continues to be concerning if you're a Tar Heels fan to watch Scott Jackson play this hockey game. This is highly uncharacteristic for him. He has been an elite goaltender ever since I can remember playing and working out with him. Anything high on the chest is popping right off. Anything off the leg pads is not well controlled. If he can get his rebound game under control, he's going to be just fine. If not, well, I would really consider, if I'm Jeff Folkman, looking at switching out my goaltenders.
There's a good chance there for the Tar Heels. NC State, though, strong in front of the net like they were against the Hokies up in Roanoke last weekend. They hold the puck in their own zone, cleared out by Jimenez up to center ice. Pushed right back to the blue line and taken in now by Raditovic, working into the left circle. Centering pass, poked away by Joey Hall. Great play by the freshman goaltender. Carolina gains control. Ian Hawkins dumps it deep. All the way behind the net, Sean Bly there. He fights off a check and forces the puck into the far corner. Klein tries to force it behind the net, picked off there, and NC State has to go to work again. Shot off the post. We have a delayed penalty coming up. It looks like it will go against NC State. And it will. This is going to be a charging call. And I'm not sure there was enough space behind the net for that to be a charging call.
That's the incorrect call in this situation. If anything could be called by this infraction, it would have to be boarding or an elbow maybe. But the fact of the matter is, charging as stipulated by the rules is skating across, taking 3 defined strides to make a body check. In that case, Chris, I believe your assessment is correct. There just wasn't enough space. I would say the hit was probably illegal. It looked like it was delivered a little bit high. You can also get the charge for leaving your feet, but I didn't see that right off the bat. I'd have to go back and look at the replay. Nonetheless, now it's time for North Carolina to try to take advantage of this opportunity.
Well, they set up the power play, but the cross-ice pass picked off by Banishevitz, will bring it in the offensive zone. Rips a wrist shot. It looked like it went off the stick of a defenseman, and that's exactly what the linesman here on this side of the ice is saying. The faceoff will stay in the UNC zone, and this is a big faceoff for NC State. They weather a little bit of an attack. Good setup from the Tar Heels down on the other end, but they get it out, and now they keep the puck in the North Carolina end with a faceoff. Bieberdorf there wins the faceoff, dropped by Banishevitz to Lecter at the point. Wrist shot goes wide. Bieberdorf there pressuring. He's forced off the puck, and it's taken back out by the Tar Heels' Nathan Haas. He gives it up to Hamel across the blue line down the left wing. Cook there for NC State. He'll force him behind the net. All the way around the boards to Raditovic. Up to the top of the point, Boudreau. Back to Raditovic, right circle. Wrist one way high, catches the glass. Along the half boards with it now, Sparrow. He works into the corner, switching places with his teammate Haas. Throws it behind the net, picked up there by Lecter. He'll work it up the right side, up to Banishevitz at the blue line. Cross-ice pass through the neutral zone to Bieberdorf. He'll force it deep and go off for the change. 4:50 left in the first period. 58 seconds left on the penalty to Sean Bly for charging. NC State with the 3-0 lead. Up the ice comes Haas. Crosses through the neutral zone, dumps the puck down into the left corner. Picked up behind the net by Wing. He'll wrist it out. The bouncing puck doesn't get out, but it'll be ruled a high stick as the clearance caught the twig of a UNC player. And with the break, Wolfpack Sports Television would like to thank tonight's sponsor, Order Up. When placing your order, enter the promo code HOCKEY, and you will save $7 on your order. So this faceoff will come out of the zone all the way up to center ice.
This is a bizarre placement for a high stick infraction. Normally it goes all the way down to the other end or just outside. I've never seen it played at center ice.
Well, Sunda will take the faceoff for NC State. He wins it over Valarelli, and it will be thrown out by NC State and dumped right back in by the Tar Heels on to Joey Hall, who will hold on for a minute and then cover up. 31 seconds left on the penalty to Bly, and 4:23 left in the period.
In these last 4 minutes, I have seen a little bit of a spark from North Carolina. They're obviously not going to be a team to go ahead and lay down to their bitter rivals, because regardless of what you think about North Carolina Duke in major revenue sports, in hockey it is NC State, North Carolina, bar none. I have seen a couple of spits of greatness. They've had little spurts of speed. But really, NC State has been able to shut them down. And I think the problem is the Tar Heels have so much youth that nobody younger than a sophomore understands the impact of this game, the magnitude of what it is in the atmosphere. North Carolina's rushing their plays. There's no stick-to-tape passes. And that's really hurting them as they continue to move forward in this game.
20 seconds left on the man advantage. Kristoff will clear it out off the faceoff, and that should just about kill off the rest of this time left on the Tar Heel man advantage. Picked up behind the net by Boudreau. He'll give it up the boards to Valarelli. Valarelli holds it in the corner, shakes off Sunda, and will turn back, still in that near corner, and that'll kill off the rest of this penalty as Sean Bly steps back on the ice. UNC gains the zone. In comes Valarelli into the left corner. pushes it back up to the point. Wrist shot just misses the net. Good chance there for Sparrow. Valarelli behind the net. Gives it back up to the point. Holding there, UNC. Along the sideboards there is Baglio. Back up to Valarelli at the point. Slap shot. Deflected. Loose in the slot. Wrist shot just misses the net from Boudreau. And NC State brings it back out. And they'll clear it all the way down for another icing call. And we talked about NC State really having a really solid game right now, Drew. But the thing that I'm noticing, a lot of icing calls, and there is a little bit of a penalty coming along with that. The faceoff comes back in your zone, and you keep the tired legs on the ice.
That's right, you do. And this one, more than ever, is a huge faceoff for North Carolina. Best scoring opportunity if they can go ahead and dig down in the corner and try to get the puck back off the draw.
Puck being fought for down in the near corner. Sunda, Fredenberg, and Farhat there for NC State. They'll win that battle. Up comes Kristoff. Gives it up there for Fredenberg. Drops for Kristoff. He wasn't ready for it. It gets away. Into the left corner. Hit late on the head of Kristoff. He's down, and there is a penalty being called.
Thank goodness.
That might be an ejection. A target of the head from behind. Unacceptable.
I don't know what to say. I don't think it was an intentional hit, but nonetheless, that's an immediate contact to the head. Kristoff is clearly going down. There's not a lot of time to hold up, but still, you don't have to make impact with the head in that situation. It's a high hit delivered. As we said, according to NHL rules, which obviously are not collegiate rules, that's an illegal contact to the head. As it stands, this is only going to be 2 minutes for boarding. I'm not so sure about this. If I was an official, I would at least consider giving the major, and A.J. Hamel is going to argue this. And I don't really think he has too much grounds to argue. That's a clear impact above the shoulders, which is the legal checking area.
So it will be a 2-minute 5-on-4 for NC State, trying to add to this 3-0 lead. Just under 3 minutes left in the first period. Face-off won by NC State. Hamel there to poke it out, though, for the Tar Heels. Lecter works his way back into the NC State zone, turns back up the left wing with speed. He'll cross into the neutral zone, gives it over for Jimenez along the half boards on the right side. He'll work down in the corner, back to the point for Cook. Holding on to it, leaves it there through the legs of Lecter and all the way down behind the Carolina net. There for it, Jimenez and Bieberdorf. Jimenez now with it behind the net, tried to get out in front, but couldn't hold on to the puck. Along the half boards left side, back up to the point, Lecter. Over left side for Banashevitz, back down into the corner, Lecter again. Banashevitz top of the point. Sideboards for Jimenez. Light pressure laid there. I'll give it to Banashevitz. Wrist shot right in and a puck loose, but held on to by Jackson. He almost let that squirt by for another goal for NC State.
Yeah, and there were about 3 black sweaters right on top of the goal crease ready to swipe that in. It's a good shift by Luis Jimenez. He suffered a laceration that required sutures at the end of the game in Roanoke. Comes back down, obviously playing in this game. But I like the fact that he's using the entire ice. He's starting to go back behind the net and really exercise his options. NC State's using time and space effectively.
A whistle right off the face-off. We'll see what the call is. Maybe someone into the circle early. 2:11 left in the first period. 1:13 left on the man advantage for the Wolfpack. They lead 3-0. Bieberdorf to take the face-off for NC State. Leaves it for Jimenez. Back to the point. Lecter, plenty of time. Fakes the slap shot. Gives it in the corner, Jimenez. Back to Lecter. Wrist shot. Deflects off the stick of Bieberdorf, it appeared, and all the way up into the netting. But it looks like they're going to keep the face-off down in the UNC zone again. I don't know what you saw on that play, Drew. It certainly looked like from here that came off of Bieberdorf's stick.
Actually, I think Boudreau got a piece of that on the way through, which all the sticks being right there. North Carolina's playing a very tight box. It's tough to tell, no doubt about it.
Cook, quick shot from the point. Blocked by the shin pads of the Carolina defenseman Nathan Haas. Along the half boards, Jimenez cross ice for Banashevitz. Wrist shot blockered away by Jackson. Clearance kept in at the point by Lecter. He'll circle behind the net with it. Trying to force his way on front. Slap shot, they score! Will Bieberdorf, 4-0 NC State. Power play goal for the Wolfpack.
Best goal NC State scored all day long. That is an outstanding play. It starts when you're moving the puck back down from the point off the Banashevitz shot into the corner. Lecter makes the play, takes the hit to get the puck back toward the front of the net. Bieberdorf steps into a slap shot. North Carolina continues to be overwhelmed. As we said, it's a special teams goal. That's going to be the key for NC State. Now 1-for-1 on the power play tonight. They continue to execute. And a 4 spot up on North Carolina is a very big accomplishment. They have not performed like ACCHL reigning champions would this season, partially because they lost so many players. But for Jeff Folkman and company, this has got to be a disappointing showing, and for Mike Gazzillo, it's completely opposite.
4-0 NC State at this point. A minute and a half left in the period. We're back to even strength. North Carolina controlling their own zone. Loose puck, though, as it's poked away, and NC State comes away with it. Glove down there by, I believe that was Alfanzetti, and it's taken back by the Tar Heels. One of their own down behind the play, though, bringing it up. Raditovic through the slot, and his shot slides past the left side of the net. Brought back up the ice now by Bly through the neutral zone into the offensive end. He leaves it there for Oliver. Back up for Bly. One-timer. Rebound left right out in the slot, and a good stick by Ian Hawkins to knock that out of danger. Hawkins with it now. He'll throw it off the glass and up the left side out of the zone. Picked up by Kren at the NC State blue line. Gives it for McDonald. Now on to Oliver, who will drop it for McDonald. Crosses into the slot from the right side, and he'll make his way all the way over to the half boards on the far side. McDonald forces the puck into the corner, stolen away by two Tar Heels, but an errant pass picked off by Oliver. He tries to pick a corner and goes high. All the way up to the right point. Kren, wrist shot, blocked by Hamel. He'll hold the zone there. It's picked up by Oliver over to Bly. His slap shot blocker down by Jackson.
If I'm NC State, I'm aiming for high blocker every single time because all Scott Jackson wants to do is punch at that puck. That's putting it right back in play. That's totally against what you're taught to do as a goaltender. I played 13 years at the position. It's terrible to watch this. If he starts rolling that wrist and putting it into the corner, it's going to start putting his team back in the game because it starts a breakout play. But as long as he's punching it, the Wolfpack are going to go right toward that blocker side corner.
Zach Klein on for NC State. He'll take the face-off against Valarelli for the Tar Heels, who it looks like will be tossed from the circle. So A.J. Hamel to take the face-off against Klein. Gallagher and Alfanzetti flank the centerman for the Wolfpack. Behind him, Farhat and Wing, the defensive pairing.
And if you're curious, go ahead, Chris.
Another whistle off the face-off.
The reason Valarelli was thrown out there is not because of a false start on his doing. It's because North Carolina got a player onto the ice after the whistle was blown for the line change. Officials can do one of two things there. They can nullify the line change and put the player back on the bench, or they can throw the centerman out of the face-off circle.
Brought back quickly by the Tar Heels. With it there, Viau. He'll work into the far corner and throw it behind the net. 5 seconds left in the period. Hamel with it. One last shot coming. Glove down by Hall. He'll throw it into the corner, and the horn will sound to end the first period. NC State, a quick start. They get up 3-0 early. A late power play goal finishes off the period for the Wolfpack. It's 4-0 after 20 minutes. Drew, your thoughts?
I cannot explain what has gotten into this NC State Wolfpack. I thought this was going to be a whole lot closer throughout the first period. I picked NC State to win and win big, but I didn't think it was going to be this quick of a start. I've been more than impressed with the way the red, black, and white are playing right now. If they continue to do this, there's no telling how high the score could get.
Well, it's only 4-0 at this point, on pace for 12-0. We'll see what they can do in the second period. But first, we'll be back with some analysis of the first period here on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack.
Are you guys hungry? I'm pretty hungry. Order up.
Oh, awesome.
Hurry, I'm starving. Are you guys hungry? I'm pretty hungry. Order up.
Oh, awesome.
Hurry, I'm starving.
We are back here for second period action at the Iceplex in Raleigh, North Carolina. The NC State Wolfpack hosting the North Carolina Tar Heels. And Drew, right now, they aren't being kind hosts. A 4-0 lead after 20 minutes. NC State ready to go in the black uniforms, Carolina in the white. Face-off won by the Tar Heels and immediately thrown in on Joey Hall. Picked up there by Reed Farhat, across to his defense partner, Chris Wing. Up the boards for Banishevitz. He shovels it along for Bieberdorf, but it's too long. Picked up at the defense by Sean Sparrow. Up for Hamel. His cross-ice pass, too long, picked off by Wing. Up there for Banishevitz, who pokes it along for Bieberdorf. Bieberdorf pressures, leaves it for Medill along the left wing. Centering pass, looking for Banishevitz, not there, and the Tar Heels turn it back. Odd man rush if they hurry. Here they come. Andrew Jordan drops it there for Raditovic. His shot blocked, but he'll follow it. Pick it up behind the net in the slot. Turnaround shot goes wide and skitters into the corner, around the boards and all the way out. Banishevitz pressures in the neutral zone, picks off a pass, leaves it for Bieberdorf. He tries to enter the zone. He's stalled out there by Raditovic, and UNC regains control. Pass looking for Raditovic, picked off by Banishevitz. He'll gain the zone. He leaves it there in the center of the ice for Jimenez, but he's unable to hold on to it. Back the other way comes Jordan. Tries to cross up Farhat. Reed Farhat wins that battle and tries to shovel it up the boards. Picked up by Raditovic. Centering pass into a skate. I believe it hit the defenseman Chris Wing's skate and deflects into the corner. Up the boards. Bieberdorf looking for Kristoff. Gets out of the zone but can't find his man. Back the other way, the Tar Heels. Here comes Nathan Haas. Wrist shot saved by Hall, but a juicy rebound and no one there to pick it up. Big hit late on Kristoff. Good job sidestepping it there by the sophomore. In the neutral zone, Carolina controls. Andrew Kristoff there for NC State. Can't steal it away. Ian Hawkins, the defenseman, looks for a cross-ice pass for his teammate Joseph Baglio. It's too long, and it makes its way all the way down the ice for an icing call.
Great jump by North Carolina to begin this period. I like the adjustment Jeff Folkman's made. He's now starting to play an overload offense favoring the glove side of Joey Hall. Shot opportunities have been there. Good job by NC State's defense to take away the angles. They are doing a good job of blocking shots, but North Carolina seems to have made a necessary adjustment in the offensive zone to be slightly more successful.
Face-off won by NC State. With it, Simon Lecter down into the corner for Sunda. He can't get to it. Shoveled back up the boards by Hawkins. Held by NC State momentarily, but it'll be brought back out by Baglio. He loses the puck to Cook, who gives it left wing for Sunda. He retreats into his own zone. Far corner to Lecter. All the way across. Now with it in the left corner is Cook. Up and off the boards for Kristoff. Too long. Fredenberg there. He's able to keep it under control for NC State. Into the zone. Shot from Sunda is gloved and held by Jackson. 17:34 left in the second period. NC State a 4-0 lead in an offensive zone faceoff coming up.
Continued pressure by NC State means continued success. Carolina's defense has also made the adjustment, forcing shots to come from the outside. Now it falls on Jackson to make sure he's not giving up any rebounds.
Tar Heels win the defensive zone faceoff. They'll break it back out. Vieu. Shot blocked by Hall. He'll stick it in behind the net for Cook. Gives it up for Oliver. Off the boards for McDonald down the right wing. Pass too far. Picked off by Keith. Nick Keith forces it up the boards. Ben Sizemore knocks it along. Picked up at the defense by Lecter, and he'll turn with it behind the NC State net. Wolfpack defenseman leaves it for his partner Cook, who pokes it along for Oliver. He immediately turns it back behind the NC State net. They're struggling right now to get it out of the zone. Finally, Lecter carries it out, but he loses it immediately. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Viau there. He loses it in his skates. Good hit from Oliver as he knocks Viau away from the puck, but the Tar Heels hold on to control. Slap shot just misses from Valarelli. Around the boards, picked up by McDonald near side. He throws it off the glass and out. Oliver pressing. Ian Hawkins there. And we're going to have a penalty. That was in the blind spot. Looks like by the signal it will be a cross-checking penalty. And this will be a 2-minute man advantage for the North Carolina Tar Heels.
It's not your traditional cross-check, although you do see it in the corner most of the time. It's due to the fact one player's flat-footed and you're trying to get him off of the puck. In that instance, Oliver getting a little overzealous playing with Ian Hawkins. He's another Raleigh kid familiar with this arena, former teammate of mine, in fact. very good, solid defenseman, and he's one to draw that penalty. Turns over to the board, smart with his positioning. Good job by him to draw that penalty.
Offensive zone face-off for the Tar Heels. Loose puck still along the boards, picked up by Banashevitz, and he'll loft it down the ice. Jimenez looking to beat out the defenseman Sparrow, and he can. Behind the net, Jimenez with it. 2 Tar Heels there. They'll come away with it. It will be Nathan Haas who carries it up the ice for UNC. Down the left wing, pressured by Bly. He works in behind the net, leaves it for Hamel. Back there for Haas. Along into the corner, Raditovic. Back to Haas in the corner. Along the sideboards, Raditovic, a fake shot. Gives it up to the point. Sparrow, score! Through the legs of Joey Hall, a power play goal, and the Tar Heels are on the board.
That one goes squarely on the NC State penalty-killing unit. You knew they were in trouble once they started to pinch down below the face-off dot. They were giving far too much room up near the blue line. And on an Olympic-sized rink, you can't work on expanding because there's just not enough time and space to be able to do so. That's a great shot on the way through. You got to be more than impressed with the ability by Spiro to go ahead and rip that one. I'm not sure if Hall saw it. It goes right through his 5-hole, and Carolina's chopping into this.
We'll see if they can continue this momentum and bring this game a little bit closer. They win the face-off in the neutral zone, though, stolen away by Alfanzetti. Quickly, an odd man rush for the Wolfpack. Shot from Alfanzetti, held on to by Jackson. The rebound cleared out by Keith. Turning with it, Klein. He's tripped up, no call. Puck still loose along the goal line. Klein comes away with it again. In the corner, centering for Alfanzetti. Over to Gallagher, and the shot is stopped. Great puck movement from NC State, but they just can't quite find the back of the net.
Mitchell Gallagher has to be able to find a way to finish that one. He wasn't well defended. He had the inside position. I'm not sure if he didn't expect the puck or what the deal was there, but that's highly uncharacteristic of him. All he had to do was sweep the puck forward and into an empty net because once again he found a way to get back behind Scott Jackson. State's got to capitalize on those.
Offensive zone face-off. Zach Klein can't win it for the Wolfpack, and it will be controlled by UNC. Up through the neutral zone, Haas gives it up now for Grafius down the left wing. His shot blocked into the corner by Hall. Picked up in the right corner by Gallagher. Up the boards for Alfanzetti. Pinching and holding is Sparrow. And now NC State will bring it out. Mitchell Gallagher gives it left wing for Klein. He crosses the blue line. Centering pass tipped by Gallagher. And it deflects just wide. Into the half boards they go. Alfanzetti pressuring. Can't win that battle. And it'll be Joseph Baglio who clears it out for the Tar Heels. Simon Lecter at his own blue line gives it up to Gallagher into the offensive zone. Wrist shot from the top of the slot goes wide. Picked up off the boards by Klein. Spinning, he sends it behind the net. Picked off by Spiro, and a lofted pass will skitter all the way down the ice. Joey Hall watches it go for icing, and the face-off comes all the way back down the ice. While we have a quick moment here, we'd like to thank tonight's sponsor of Wolfpack Sports Television, Order Up. When placing your order, enter the promo code HOCKEY on orderup.com and receive $7 off your order.
Chris, Simon Lecter, while you were making that announcement, got into something with the North Carolina bench, and that's what Jeff Folkman's upset about. I'm not sure what was said, but it looked like something drew Lecter over. Folkman's making the cross-checking motion. And he knew this was going to happen at some point. I mean, you're looking at two very competitive coaches who love nothing more than to beat each other more than anybody else. And Jeff Folkman is really lobbying hard that something's got to be cracked down upon.
Yeah, and I didn't see anything. I didn't even see Lecter over there, as you were saying. But at this point, play will resume. Will Bieberdorf wins the faceoff for NC State. Immediately a shot on goal, scooped up by Jackson, and he freezes for another faceoff.
North Carolina's out shooting NC State this period 4-3. Granted, it is still early, but North Carolina very impressive in these first 5 and change.
Well, it certainly seems like they've come out with more energy to start this period. I think NC State a little taken aback with a 4-goal lead. And as they drop the puck, a late player in will force a redraw. The faceoff won by Bieberdorf for NC State at the point. Bly will throw it deep. Picked up by Banashevitz on the clearance. He scores! Failed clearance attempt by Vincent Boudreau. Picked up by Banashevitz. And NC State answers with a goal of their own.
Well, you knew it was going to happen sometime. Sam Banishevitz had scored in every one of NC State's games this season. Continues the trend, gives the arm wave over to the Banishevitz Babes, his fan club. That one goes squarely on the North Carolina defense. You have to be able to clear the puck with power, with a good crisp pass up to the wing or the center. In that case, it's a weak flubbed pass. Banishevitz is there. But once again, Scott Jackson lets this one go right under his arm. It is always a bad sign when pucks are going through goaltenders and not truly beating them around them. Jackson continues to look uncomfortable, and I am still shocked at it.
UNC advances right off the face-off. They bring it down in the NC State zone. Hamel back to the point for Hawkins. Circled back around behind the net for Hamel. Centering pass, Raditovic pad save made by Joey Hall. And the puck cleared out by NC State. Racing back, Jimenez. He beats the defenders to it. Taken down, no call. Everybody but the referees, I think, looking for that one. And we will continue to play. Hamel up the half boards, finds Raditovic through the middle of the ice. He's got a helper. That's Andrew Jordan, picked off by Chris Wing at the top of the circle. Up now for Jimenez, into the neutral zone, now into the zone. Works around one man and loses the puck. Carolina takes it back. Back and forth we go. Raditovic gets it up for Jordan. Leaving it now, shot blocked by Joey Hall, and Hamel not in a good enough position for the rebound. Another shot blocked, picked up at the top of the circle by Banishevitz. Gets it up to Bieberdorf, left for Jimenez, but he is unable to get there first, and UNC turns back. A.J. Hamel across the blue line, poked away and out by Reed Farhat, and now the Tar Heels dump it deep. Offside called. I didn't see where the Tar Heel players were coming off the bench, but it looks like at least Jonah Grafius, who touched that puck, was offsides. But the faceoff will stay just outside the NC State zone.
Chris, it's just come to my attention, one of the noticeable missing players from this North Carolina roster is Akul Gupta. Gupta had a couple of assists the last time NC State played North Carolina back on February 14th in the ACCHL tournament. Don't have the information on my fingertips as to why he's not here.
Backhand shot from Sunda, gloved and held onto by Jackson, and now looks like Sean Sparrow trying to get something going with Sunda. He'll have none of it.
Well, if Spiro wants to get something going with somebody, Sunda's not the right player to get involved with. One of the most level-headed players on this NC State team. He's the captain, he's a leader, and he's not going to get into extracurriculars.
12:57 left in the second period. NC State with a goal here in the second period, gave one up as well, so the lead still stands at 5-1 in favor of the home squad. NC State wins the faceoff. Fredenberg along the left half boards into the corner for Sunda, looking for Fredenberg back out in front, picked off by Boudreau, and he'll work it around to the other side. Picked off by Kristoff on the clearance pass. He throws it deep. The Tar Heels work along the left side boards, and their clearance pass again intercepted by Andrew Kristoff. Long pass for Fredenberg. He'll get it deep. Chasing now Sean Sparrow for the Tar Heels. Pressured by Kristoff and Fredenberg. Works off of them and throws it up the ice. Long pass picked off at the blue line by Bly. He'll work forward with speed. He'll lay a good hit on Boudreau. Can't hold on to the puck, though. Right back to him. 2-on-1 for NC State. Bly, the wrist shot goes high. 12-12 left in the second period. NC State with control in the offensive zone. Lecter behind the net. Interfered with, and we're still not going to get a call. And I'm not sure why not. And another one there that we don't get. Behind the net, another body goes down. They continue to battle. Crotch neck slash. Oh, my goodness.
This could be a major.
Oh,
that is a
my.
nasty penalty. Saw it with my own two eyes. Lecter's down. They've got to give a whistle. NC State's possessing the puck.
Finally, they get it. We'll see what this is. And now NC State doing what they need to do.
I don't blame them. You knew it was going to happen at some point. I cannot believe this. And this is why you have to call the little penalties. Both sides, you have to blow the whistle, because if you don't, it's plays like this that happen. I don't blame North Carolina. I don't blame NC State. Yes, it is an irresponsible penalty. Yes, this is an ejectable offense. Yes, this should be a major penalty. But this one goes squarely on the officials. They have lost total control of this hockey game, and if they don't regain it, you're going to see more of the same throughout the rest of this.
Well, the thing that shocked me right now is the offending player still in the box. There was clearly no puck there, no play on the puck. pure malice on that play. Why is he still in the game?
This is an ejectable offense. I don't understand this. And not only is this ejectable, this is suspendable under both ACHA and NCAA rules.
Well,
this is incredible. It is going to be a major penalty, so kudos to the official there. But this is ejectable. This is rule book ejectable. And they're also going to give another major penalty as well to Andrew Kristoff for the tackle at the end of the play. So this may just end up being 4-on-4, despite the fact that there was malicious intent and an attempt to injure as well on Lecter on the far side.
Well, they're still working it out. The captains for NC State as well as the captains for North Carolina over by the scorer's table waiting for word of what the calls are going to be. As you said, Drew, 2 majors assessed at this point, one to Andrew Kristoff for the response to the hit on Lecter, and then one as well will go to, I believe it's Nathan Haas, who is sitting in the box for the slash that he put on Simon Lecter.
And that's twice Lecter's been targeted, and that's highly unfortunate. Lecter's a first-year player here at NC State. He's a Swede, the only foreign player on this NC State roster. And I believe the officials are going to have a discussion with the coaches right here. Chris, I hate to say it, but we knew this was going to happen at some point. It's a carryover from last year's series of 3 games.
Well, we also saw a very similar play in the last regular season game. Danny Fredenberg gets knocked down, and the best player for the North Carolina Tar Heels is the one who goes and slashes him in the ribs.
It was Matt Gelletley at that point. Matt Gelletley represented the ACCHL in the All-Star game later on. And I hate to use this word, and I use it sparingly because I understand that hockey's a physical game, and having played it, I understand even more how physical it is, but that's a dirty play. It's cut and dry as that. You do not slash a player away from the puck. That's Marty McSorley-esque. I'm shocked and appalled at the fact that this is nothing more than a major penalty.
We're still waiting to see. At this point, I'm assuming the calls have been made, the explanations being made, and now it looks like we'll have some more discussion.
Kristoff has been downgraded to a 2-minute penalty. And Jeff Folkman continues to try to turn this one back onto Mike Gazzillo, which is highly incredulous. And, I mean, I've had at-length discussions with Mike Gazzillo. Yes, this is a rivalry game. And Coach Gazzillo wants nothing more than to win, sure, but he's made a point to continue good sportsmanship and integrity of the game every time he plays, not just against North Carolina, but against the rest of the league at large. Jeff Folkman has been in the ears of the officials all night long. And you wonder, is there a breaking point to this? I mean, just last week, I happened to see a coach get ejected for talking too much to an official. Not because he said anything wrong, not because he was wrong in blatantly arguing a call, but because he talked too much. You wonder, is there a breaking point now for the gentleman wearing the bands? And I believe we're going to see, you know what, I'm not sure what's going on here, Chris.
And as we get word.
They just sent Ryan Zipatelli off the ice, who is in suit and tie. I think Jeff Folkman just said something about having an extra guy on the bench, and that's why. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. And under the letter of the law of the rule book, you are only allowed to have 4 people on the bench. But that is completely and totally against the spirit of the game.
Well, we're still waiting to resume play after what has gone on, and we'll quickly recap everything from the start of this game for you. 11:42 left in the second period, so about halfway through this contest. NC State comes out very strong in the first period, 3 quick goals, another one later on in the period on the power play, gave them a 4-0 lead going into the break. 1 goal for North Carolina here in this period, cut to 4-1. Goal for NC State puts us at 5-1 where we are now. And it looks like we're about ready to start again. 5-minute major on Haas, 2 minutes for Kristoff.
Well, and here's the thing to remember. After this 4-on-4 ends, even if NC State scores on the 4-on-4, this 5-minute penalty runs till termination. NC State can score as many times as they want on this major.
Jimenez centering pass stopped there on the one-timer from Banashevitz by Jackson, and it's cleared down the ice and on net to avoid icing. Not a good play there from Ian Hawkins, who circled behind the net and threw it out thinking it was on the penalty kill. NC State back up in the form of Banashevitz. Wrist shot gloved down and covered up by Jackson. That will be another face-off in the offensive zone for NC State. 1:25 left on the Kristoff penalty, 4:25 left on the Haas penalty. So still plenty of 4-on-4 hockey to be played.
The one redeeming quality to this whole instance is in a moment of sportsmanship, Sam Banashevitz was actually having a rather jovial discussion down with Scott Jackson. Those two are also former teammates through the Raiha organization. Both share the red hair, so I'm sure that they are linked quite well together.
Well, play back underway, controlling the Tar Heels. High lofted pass there from Sparrow all the way into the NC State zone, turned back by the Wolfpack. Picked off by Sunda, in on a breakaway, he scores! Rips it top shelf, and NC State's up 6-0.
Well, 6-1, Chris. North Carolina did break the shutout, but nonetheless, that's an impressive goal. Snap wrister to the top corner. Garrett Sunda's second. This is a huge game for this young man. Number 16, the captain in his senior year. Nothing better than scoring and scoring often against your dreaded rival.
And it looks, we'll see what's going to come of this, but Vincent Boudreau now over talking with the referees.
And he's got to be very, very careful. He's inside the officials'
He
crease.
was, I do believe he was called over by a linesman, so at least has the permission.
That doesn't matter, Chris. The officials' crease is a sanctified area. Only men wearing stripes are allowed inside of there. By the letter of the law, he is supposed to stand outside of that red line, and he's just been called for a penalty as a result.
Well,
and that's the correct call.
I'm not sure if that was the call or not, because there was a linesman talking to him after the play. Then he called him over to the referees. That's when he's assessed the penalty. So it could have had something to do with something behind the play. What it is, we're not sure of. All we know is there's another player in the box. We're waiting to see what the time will be, if any, for this penalty. I'm not sure what it is at this point. And it will be a 2-minute penalty. I haven't seen a signal.
I'm going to guess if you didn't see a signal that was initiated originally, it's most likely an unsportsmanlike conduct. But once again, I find myself in the precarious situation of not having enough spaces on my own personal score sheet. And I mean, if I was using a red pin at this point, it would look like I had cut my wrist and bled all over this thing. I am just amazed by the amount of penalties called, by the amount of infractions. This is unbelievable, and now you're going to get a fairly rare situation where
this will be very interesting, too.
This is going to really spread things out. It favors NC State. Not a lot of speed out there for North Carolina.
And a lot of ice space. Face-off won by NC State's Garrett Sunda. Held onto at the red line by Bly. He leaves it there for Sunda, who brings it in across the blue line. Leaves it for Fredenberg in his skates, so he has to retreat up at the top of the point. 4-on-3 right now for NC State. Down on the goal line, Sunda tries to shovel one upstairs, but there to pin the post was Scott Jackson, and he'll cover up.
Garrett Sunda is looking for a hat trick here, and that would just be the cherry on top to his night.
Well, NC State 47 seconds away from a 5-on-3. Sean Bly sets up his slap shot, blocked in front and into the corner. Working around with it, Fredenberg up to the top of the circle. He's knocked down, and the puck's cleared out. With it, Bly in the neutral zone. Cross ice for Kren. He'll take a slap shot and launch it into the far corner. Picked up at the point by Fredenberg, trying to work down the left wing. He's pinched off, and Kren picks it up in the neutral zone.
It's interesting, Mike Gazzillo has Mike Kren on the power play. We talked about him being this security guard out here today, and I'm going to guess he's out there for nothing more than just in case anything goes wrong.
He takes a big slap shot there, deflected wide, still in the offensive zone for NC State. Behind the net with it, Bieberdorf. 2 seconds and 1, 5-on-3 now for NC State. Medill into Bieberdorf to Kren. His shot patted away. Coming in, Banashevitz can't get to the loose puck, and it's poked out, but the net has been knocked off moorings. And I believe it has been signaled the faceoff will stay in the Carolina zone.
And the reason for that being is because it was deemed a North Carolina Tar Heel was responsible for the contact that initiated the net being moved off of its moorings. You know what? Ryan Zimpatelli comes back to the bench.
It looks like he's going to get ice, probably for Simon Lecter on that slash.
Me.
50 seconds left on the 5-on-3 for NC State. 2:53 left on the penalty to Nathan Haas. NC State wins the faceoff. Right point, Cook works it to the half boards for Jimenez. Cross ice for Lecter. He drops into the left corner. Banashevitz centering. He gives it over for Jimenez, and his one-timer goes wide. 35 seconds left on the two-man advantage. Up at the left point, Banashevitz. A lot of traffic in front. Over to Lecter in the center of the ice. Big ripper catches the glass behind the net. 9:10 left in the period. 23 seconds left on the two-man advantage. Medill, top of the slot. Wrist shot blocked in front, and it's cleared out by Sparrow. Light pressure laid on there by Raditovic. Lecter circles off of it and comes back up the left wing. Raditovic back with pressure, knocks him off the puck, and bumped back up to Banashevitz. His wrist shot looking for the stick of Lecter, misses it, goes in the far corner. Lecter at the top of the point now. Holds, fires, blocked shot and into the corner. 5-on-4 now, the first penalty over. Across there, Jimenez, his wrist shot squeezed and held onto by Jackson. He'll cover up for the faceoff with 8:33 left in the period.
NC State has not gotten a shot on goal from anywhere higher than the top of the faceoff circle. That's a two-edged sword. You do want to see your point shots reaching the goal on frame. But on the other side, NC State's being allowed still a whole lot of room between the top of the faceoff circle and the bottom of the faceoff circle. That's creating good scoring opportunities.
Addison Oliver to take the faceoff for NC State. A.J. Hamel for North Carolina wins it, and it's cleared out by the Tar Heels. 1:50 left on the power play. Clock not running right now.
I don't think anybody sees it. The officials certainly haven't. And
we will,
there we go.
And now it will continue. NC State brings it up. Jack McDonald through the center of the ice. Right wing over for Oliver. His shot blocker down by Jackson. Into the right corner with it. McDonald holds up to the point for Farhat. Wrist shot. No one sees it. Rebound, and there was Oliver, but he misses the net. He'll bring it around into the right corner. Back up to the point for Farhat. He takes another one off the post. Did it go in? They say no. Still loose behind the net, and NC State can't capitalize. 1:20 left on the penalty to Nathan Haas. NC State brings it back in after the clearance. Chris Wing tries to drop it for Farhat. Bad pass, and it's cleared out by Hamel. Cross-ice pass. He was looking for Ben Sizemore. Too long. Addison Oliver picks it up for NC State. Over to Farhat. Now up for McDonald, who circles back. He'll work all the way behind the NC State net. Under a minute now left on the NC State power play. Addison Oliver, his pass for Farhat poked away by Hamel. Hawkins there, his clearance blocked by Reed Farhat. 43 seconds left on the power play. In the corner, working for it, NC State's Addison Oliver. Still battling. Light pressure there. The Tar Heels come away with it, and they clear it out. Half a minute left on this power play. Sean Bly up along the near side for Oliver. He circles back in his own zone. Knocked down on a cross-check. Hamel will be blown for it, and he's headed to the box.
Yeah, and he can't believe it, but that's the exact same call that was made down low earlier in the second period against Oliver, except instead of happening on the corner, it happens on the half wall. Good call by the officials, who are now, more than of their own free will, are being forced to control this game tightly.
Well, it'll be a 22-second 5-on-3 for NC State. That 22 seconds will tick down to 0 regardless of whether or not NC State scores. 2 minutes on the penalty for cross-checking to A.J. Hamel. 7:04 left in the second period. NC State a 6-1 lead. Will Bieberdorf to take the face-off, blocker side of Jackson. He drops it back to the point for Bly. Working in top of the circle. Wrist shot comes off the boards and back out in front. No one there for NC State.
NC State's getting a little too shot happy on the power play. No, it's never a bad play per se to put the puck toward the net, but if your defensemen aren't hitting it on goal and they aren't forcing the goaltender to make a save, you got to start looking at passing the puck more and looking at an open shot lane.
Haas out of the box looking for a pass from Raditovic, but he's fended off by Sean Bly. Pass cleared out by the Tar Heels up in the neutral ice, taken back by Kren. Left in the neutral zone for Bieberdorf. He comes in. Stick lifted by Haas. Great play. He'll steal it away and clear the zone. Sean Bly gives it up now for Luis Jimenez down the left wing, working slowly. Spins it back up the boards now for Bly, left point. He'll tee one up off the skate of Bieberdorf and into the corner. 1:03 left on the power play for NC State. Behind the net, Banashevitz works back into the left corner, up to the point for Bly. Tees another one up, this one well wide. Off the boards, back up to the right point. Kren's shot, it's blocked. The rebound cleared out and all the way down the ice. No icing, still 45 seconds left on the 5-on-4 for NC State. Mike Kren up the left boards, gives it there for Jimenez. Cross ice now for Banashevitz. He'll bring it in, top of the left circle. Sidesteps a man, but loses the puck. Loose, centering pass, they score! The loose puck picked up by Luis Jimenez. He finds Banashevitz, and it's 7-1 NC State.
Oh, you want to talk about a pretty goal. You want to talk about silky mitts. That was unbelievable. I mean, Jimenez dipsy doodles around his man, finds the open Banashevitz, and then it's a sweep into a gaping cage. That is an outstanding play.
That will bring us back to even strength 5-on-5 hockey. NC State a 7-1 lead with 5.5 minutes left in period number 2. Klein, Alfanzetti, and Gallagher, the offensive line for NC State. Lecter and Cook back at the defense. Face-off won by the Tar Heels, advancing it forward. Stalled at the blue line by Gallagher and forced out by Alfanzetti. Tar Heels control neutralized. Try to get it deep, stolen away by Gallagher. Pressured there by a couple of Tar Heels, but will gain the zone. Tripped up. Coach Mike Gazzillo looking for a call. He won't get it. And Klein brings it in behind the net. Leaves it for Gallagher, who will move into the near corner. Back up to the point for Lecter. Leaves it there for Gallagher, who will circle it around the boards for Klein. Tries to center it in front. Finds the net behind him instead. Klein again with it near corner. He'll circle in the left circle. Wrist shot. Easy glove save for Jackson as he snares that one and holds on for a faceoff.
And we talked about NC State only had officially 10 shots on goal last period. Well, all I have on my shot tracker right now is black dots everywhere. I couldn't even imagine trying and counting these because I'd be counting from this puck drop to the next whistle. It's been an outstanding period by NC State. Continued pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if they got another one right here.
Lecter with it at the top of the point. Pressured there, and he'll get it down deep. NC State working with control in the left corner. Zach Klein throws it back around, pressuring Gallagher there now for NC State on Nick Keith. Loose puck picked up by Alfanzetti. Sidesteps a man out in front. Loose puck is poked out to the point. Lecter holds the zone, gives it to Klein on the left boards. He'll work his way back up to the point. Wrist shot, stopped there by Alfanzetti. Tried to get it on net, but it's cleared out by North Carolina.
Has anybody told the Tar Heels that this is a 5-on-5 hockey game? Because right now their defensive strategy is just like a penalty kill. I've seen nothing but a box set with maybe one extra guy chasing the puck. This is not good defense.
Centering pass, no goal off the post. Good chance there for the Tar Heels. Quickly back the other way, NC State. Puck slapped away from Alfanzetti by Vincent Boudreau, and it's turned back up by the Tar Heels. In comes Grafius. Guarded there by Cook. He has the puck knocked away. Centering pass finds a man. Pat save made on the other side by Joey Hall on Joseph Baglio. With it now, Haas. Centering pass picked off by Alfanzetti. NC State back the other way quickly. Up to Gallagher. He's got a breakaway. In on Jackson, and he stopped. Puck loose in front, and Scott Jackson comes up with it for the save. He covers up, and we'll have another face-off.
Mitchell Gallagher will tell you he's got to be the player to make that play. It's the same play Sunda made. It's a breakaway, a little bit of pressure coming from behind. You always shoot the puck on Jackson because his initial instinct is to dip that glove. If you're able to send it right back over him, the shot's going to beat him every time.
Face off to the glove side of Jackson. Loose puck picked up by Garrett Sunda. He'll work behind the net. Into the left corner, up into the circle, drops it for Kristoff, centering for Sunda, and it's just off his stick and taken back by the Tar Heels. Raditovic through the middle, pinched there by the two defensemen for NC State, and the puck's forced down behind the Wolfpack net. Kristoff gets it there, gets it up to Fredenberg, centering pass, great touch there to Sunda, down the right wing. Wrist shot, rebound, score! What a play! Garrett Sunda with the rebound assist. And that was intentional. Great play for goal number 8. Garrett Sunda down the right wing. Low shot opposite corner. Scott Jackson kicks it right back out in front. And it's nothing but daylight for Andrew Kristoff.
Once again, now you see why you put the puck off the far side pad consistently. This is once again a shot to his blocker side that he kicks right back out into the middle instead of steering it over and into the corner boards. That's a poor play by Jackson. I'm sure he will tell you he's not pleased with his performance. He's clearly faced as many shots before in his career and performed a whole lot better. But it seems like either this crowd or the skill level of this NC State team is getting to him and the rest of the Tar Heels And right now, Old Baby Blue is just laying down and getting absolutely hammered by the Wolfpack.
Just under 3 minutes left here in the second period. 8-1 lead for NC State. Chris Swing, the defenseman, brings it up into the offensive zone. Wrist shot blocked at the defense, and NC State will have to regroup. Puck cleared out by the Tar Heels, poked back by Farhat. A.J. Hamel to pick it up there for North Carolina. Working at his own blue line, drops it there for Lucy Cloak. Cloak stretch pass, looking for a teammate, Jake Mayer, and he has it poked away by Reed Farhat. It gets it across to Chris Wing. Up the boards, big hit laid there on Ryan Kinney. He's slow to get up. Retaliation will be called on Chris Wing as he went back and hit A.J. Hamel. Puck touched by Farhat, but that will go against NC State as a penalty. But I will say that's not a bad penalty to take if you're NC State. Sticking up for one of the smaller guys on your team, that's what you want to see out of a defenseman like Chris Wing.
Yes, and that is a good move by a sophomore defenseman. However, that penalty should not have been called in my mind. Yes, it's a technical interference, but the first one has to be called as well because, once again, this is a high hit. And you begin to wonder, is this a coaching issue? Because the only player I've seen that delivers a consistently clean body check is Brendan Radatovich, who in my mind has been the best player on the ice for North Carolina this evening.
Along the half boards, Jimenez picks it up for NC State, drops it for Lecter behind the net. Clearance held in at the blue line by Boudreau. He'll throw it into the left corner for Ma. Stolen away there by Cook. He has it taken back, though, and it's picked up by Valarelli. Into the corner. There he's got Baglio back again. Holding Valarelli in the circle. Slap shot goes wide. Picked up at the point by Sparrow. Drops it back down for Baglio. Centering past the one-timer there by Sizemore. Floats over the net. Far corner. Picked up by Valarelli. Plenty of time. Looking through the point. Held in on the tip pass by Banashevitz. Weak wrist shot from Sparrow. Gloved and held by Hall. And it will be a face-off in the NC State zone with 1:24 remaining in the period. 1:14 left on the Chris Swing penalty.
Sam Banashevitz has made the necessary adjustment to really take all the potency away out of the Carolina power play. He's staying up, so it's more of a triangle and chaser than a box, maybe even a hybrid diamond, if you will. But right now, he is locked onto the point, onto Spear to make sure nothing comes back in from the high point area.
Brendan Radatovich in the right corner with it for the Tar Heels, setting up the power play. His centering pass deflected and stolen by NC State. If they go quickly, it's a 2-on-1. Banashevitz and Mazil, pinning pass! The shot is not taken on, though, as a good chance there for NC State. But the loose pucks lost by Banashevitz thwarts that opportunity. Banashevitz in the defensive zone for NC State. He'll hold and fire it all the way down the ice. 40 seconds left on the penalty kill for NC State. 47 seconds left in the period. Up the ice comes Sparrow. He'll dart down the right wing. Holds up at the hash mark. Centering pass. Again poked away. Loose puck picked up in the slot, though. Shot there from Haas. Goes high over the shoulder of Joey Hall and into the corner. Circling now around behind the net. Vincent Boudreau tries to get it in front. Picked off by Cook, and he'll get it up for Jimenez. And the puck rolls all the way down into the Carolina zone. Spiro trouble with it, pressured by Jimenez, but only loose pressure, and NC State will try to finish off this penalty kill. 4 seconds left on the wing penalty. Up comes Hamel, poked away by Banashevitz down the right wing and into the corner. Banashevitz along the boards for NC State, pressured by Hamel and Haas. He'll try and run out the clock here. 3, 2, and 1. The puck will stay in the corner, and a big high hit on Simon Lecter by Brendan Radatovich at the end of this period. We'll see what comes of it. Nothing after that, but it looks like we will probably see a penalty on Brendan Radatovich.
I got to imagine. And he's saying that Lecter's flopping.
Well,
and
it looks like
the officials are just going to separate these two teams, and I'm sure there will be a discussion between the officials and the coaching staff. But right now, the fans are very happy about the way NC State has performed. And quite honestly, if you're a Wolfpack fan, you should be. This has been complete and total, utter domination of the North Carolina Tar Heels. NC State has asserted their dominance as the true hockey top dog in the state.
And before we take our second intermission break, we'd like to thank our sponsors one more time. Order Up for sponsoring tonight's game. If you go to Order Up and enter the promo code HOCKEY. As you see it on your screen, you will receive $7 off your order. Well, that does it for the second period. 4 more goals for the Wolfpack, 1 for the Tar Heels, and we'll head into the final 20 minutes. NC State 8, UNC 1. You're watching NC State
You guys
hockey
hungry? I'm
on
pretty
Wolfpack
hungry.
Sports Television, bringing you into the pack.
Are you guys hungry? I'm pretty hungry. Order up.
Oh, awesome.
Hurry, I'm starving.
It's time for third period action here in the Iceplex at Raleigh, North Carolina. NC State with a commanding 8-1 lead as we start the third period over their rival, the North Carolina Tar Heels, with a 2-minute power play to start the period. Centering pass, Banishevitz tied up on the one-timer, and the rebound thrown on net by Bieberdorf. We do have a goaltending change here in the third period. It will be number 31, Trent Holmes, in for Scott Jackson, who gave up 8 goals in the first 40 minutes.
Well, if Carolina was very serious about staying in this hockey game, they would have pulled Jackson a whole lot sooner.
With it now, Hamel, backhand clearance, gloved down by Jimenez and held in at the right point. Down along the half boards for Cook, centering pass, Bieberdorf tips it on, and it's knocked into the corner. Now with it, Cook, half boards again. He's holding, looking for a passing lane, drops it back to the point for Jimenez, and they switch places. Centering pass, Banishevitz wrists one on, and it's sticked away by Holmes. Behind the net, they battle. Banishevitz trying to force it along for Jimenez, and he does, who leaves it along the half boards for Banishevitz, up to Cook, and back down for Jimenez in the corner. Near corner, Jimenez circles, back up on the half boards. Banishevitz can't handle the saucer pass, and the puck slides out. 45 seconds left on the power play for NC State. Little miscue in their own zone, and Hamel comes away with it. He's taken down by Cook, and NC State regroups at their own blue line. Jimenez up the right wing into the offensive zone, holding along the hash marks, back top of the right circle for Banishevitz. Cross-ice pass in the skates of Fredenberg. He'll kick it down behind the net and take control there. In the corner, Fredenberg reverses, trying to get behind the net, has it poked away, and now Nathan Haas will throw it up the ice. 14 seconds left on the man advantage for NC State. Pass thrown into the slot, deflected wide, and thrown around the boards by Sparrow. 5 seconds left on the power play. Right corner with it, Jimenez. Knocked off the puck by Vincent Boudreau. Clearance pass held in there by Lecter. He brings it in the right wing. Sidesteps Boudreau, but Boudreau gets the stick on it. He'll bring it back up the left side. Holds up at the red line. Cross-ice pass. Finds a teammate. Sidesteps Lecter, but Lecter takes the puck away. 17:40 left in the game. 8-1 NC State. Reed Farhat behind the Wolfpack net. Gives it to his defensive partner, Wing, who will throw it right back around the boards. Near corner, they battle. NC State unable to get them away with it. Soft shot, sticked into the corner by Joey Hall. Turnover behind the net, and the Tar Heels have control. Trying to get out in front was Haas. It's stolen away by Fredenberg, who forces the puck forward and into the Carolina zone. Loose puck stolen away, and the Tar Heels move back. Long pass, too far, picked off by NC State. They turn it back. A lot of play in the neutral zone right now, Drew. Not a lot of attack, really, from either side.
No, and can you really blame them?
3 minutes gone in this period. Even strength hockey again. Garrett Sundo with it now. He'll bring it up the left wing. Hops over one man, can't hold the puck. And North Carolina turns it back. Baglio throws the puck behind the NC State net. Chris Wing there, pickpocketed by Haas. He'll turn with it. Pressure by Bieberdorf. Up to the point, no one there. Sean Sparrow can't get there in time, and the puck slides all the way back down behind the Carolina goal.
Good forecheck by Sunda, forcing that miscue. Carolina's got to start all over again from the opposite side.
Long stretch pass, way too far out of the reach of the teammate, looking for Ruan Ma. Goes for an icing call. NC State will get an offensive zone face-off here. Jack McDonald, Ryan Kinney, and Addison Oliver the forwards for NC State, Mike Kren and Sean Bly at the defense. It'll be Valarelli to take the face-off for the Tar Heels. McDonald, Valarelli battle for it, still loose in that left circle. NC State eventually comes away with the loose puck. Picked up in the corner and cleared out by the Tar Heels. NC State holding the puck in their own zone. Knocked up in the neutral zone by Kren, turned right back by Sparrow, and NC State regroups behind their net. Long pass coming from Bly, catches McDonald in the skates, and it's picked back up by UNC. Now we're going to have a whistle and a penalty, I believe. McDonald going at it with Ben Sizemore over in front of the penalty box area. Sizemore goes to the bench. We'll see if he gets a penalty. It doesn't look like he will, but it will be Jack McDonald going to the box for NC State on the retaliation.
Yep, no doubt about it. That's most certainly a penalty, and if it wasn't, it's the retaliation that is, because he continually was going after Sizemore. I do applaud Ben Sizemore in that situation. He was the one to skate away. Mike Gazzillo talked about during the intermission, wanting cooler heads to prevail. I'm sure that's the talk he's getting from Thomas Aud over there on the bench right now, as you do not want to be taking stupid penalties, because while it is a 7-goal lead, I mean, nothing is going to be ever too secure, but Sizemore looks like he's going to go to the box here. Yes,
it does look like he will. The penalty box open for the Tar Heels. He comes back over the boards and into the penalty box, so it should be 4-on-4 hockey.
Should be matching minors, I would agree.
And that's what it will be. Number 9's on both teams. Ben Sizemore for the Tar Heels, Jack McDonald for the Wolfpack, both with 2-minute minors, and we'll play 4-on-4 hockey.
Now this is interesting because this is going to really open up a whole lot of space. This favors NC State. They are the faster team, but when we went 4-on-3 in the second period, NC State was not able to capitalize. So interesting situation. Unless, are they going to move this 5-on-5? No, I don't think that's the collegiate rule in this situation, but the Wolfpack have 5 players out.
And there's still an explanation being given to the NC State bench.
Mike Gazzillo doesn't look too happy with it, unless they're going to give an outstanding extra penalty to McDonald for his extracurriculars and the cross check to the back after the whistle had blown, which would make sense, but no.
It will be an extra penalty on Carolina.
2 guys in the box. I don't understand this. I'm at a loss for words.
I'm looking to see if they're both going to get penalties, or rather 10-2s maybe going here, but there's no one else in the NC State box. It looked like that's what Fredberg was going to do.
That's the incorrect call in that situation. A 10-2 is not eligible to be called because there was no true unsportsmanlike conduct because both players did not engage.
Well, while we have a quick pause here, we're going to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Order Up. If you're ordering from Order Up, enter the promo code HOCKEY as you see on your screen, and you will receive $7 off of your order. 15:50 left in the third period. NC State an 8-1 lead, and we're still getting everything ironed out with the penalties. Looks like we're just about ready to go.
It's going to be an NC State penalty, but I'm not sure where the outstanding penalty is. Unless...
Well,
this is really odd because they've started Carolina's a man down. There's no penalty on the clock. Chris, the only thing I'm guessing is that there was something whistled on the captain, A.J. Hamel, that he refused to serve.
And now they do have it up there, so a man advantage for 2 minutes for NC State. They're about 10 seconds, into that at this point. In the right corner with it, Jimenez tries to get out to the point to Lecter. Does off the stick of a Tar Heel, and it's dumped right back in. Andrew Cook with it, right point, drops it into the corner for Jimenez, back to Cook. Again, back to Jimenez, they'll play catch. Loose puck up to the point, switching places with Jimenez was Cook. He tried to throw it deep for Banashevitz in the corner, and he finds the netting above the glass. And this looks like actually it must have deflected off of a Tar Heel player because the face-off will stay in the offensive zone for NC State.
You know, Chris, what's amazed me even more is that the crowd has not thinned out any bit since the beginning of this hockey game. Everybody's still here, still cheering just as loudly as they were. This crowd is a definite advantage for the Wolfpack. There's no doubt in my mind about it.
Well, we've hit the 5-minute mark here in the third period. We're under 15 to go. 1:08 left on the power play for NC State, but right now the chance coming for the Tar Heels, and Baglio will risk that one off the blocker of Hall and up into the netting behind the frame.
NC State looks a little bit lackadaisical, and not to say the Tar Heels have a ton of jump either, but both teams right now just going out there skating about, not really making anything special happen. Kind of surprising.
And it certainly seems like the energy level on both sides has come down a little bit from that second period. Defensive zone face-off won by the Wolfpack, trying to control and clear, unable to do so. Nick Keith keeps it in at the left point. Down behind the net for Hamel, forced off the puck by Farhat, but he'll spin off there. Unable to control the puck, NC State takes it back. Darting up the right wing, Fredenberg. He'll skate into the zone. Down behind the Tar Heel net, all the way around. Centering pass for Sunda. The one-timer slides just past the net. Into the corner. Nick Keith with Kristoff and Sunda. They'll battle for it. Now with Raditovic stolen away. Kristoff in front. His shot deflects up over top. Good chance for Andrew Kristoff. Behind the net, Sunda. Knocked off the puck by Hawkins. Loose puck picked up by Fredenberg. He'll bring it into the right corner. Forces off Keith. Holds onto the puck, gets it up to Farhat at the point, shovels it back along the sideboards to Kristoff. Kristoff has it poked away. He loses it into the neutral zone. Good pressure by the Tar Heels. Penalty kill. 5 seconds left, and they're going to kill off this man advantage. That will do it. Back to 5-on-5. Here comes Andrew Kristoff down the left wing for NC State. Into the corner, now behind the net. Circles around. Centering pass. There's Sunda. It's through his skates. Up to the point. Wing. Down goes Fredenberg in front, no call. He got hit away from the puck. Behind the net, Keith picks it up. He'll wrist one up the boards and out. No penalty right now, so that will be an icing call. And now the matching minors for McDonald and Sizemore are over. They re-enter play here with 13:24 left in the game.
I'm still curious as to what the extraneous call that was given to Sarah Varelli was, because that makes absolutely no sense. I didn't see a number 24 anywhere in an altercation.
Face-off one forward by Klein. He'll chase it down. Back pass there along the half boards for Gallagher. He holds it in the right corner. Centers for Alfonsetti. The shot patted away by Holmes. Into the left corner with it now. Klein pressured there by 3 Tar Heel defenders. It's taken by Raditovic. Leaves it there for Varelli. Across the ice for Hamel. He's looking for Raditovic up in the center. Too long, and the puck goes all the way down in the NC State zone.
Raditovic and Hamel have played sparingly on the same line this evening. Kind of surprised that Jeff Folkman's putting his 2 stars out on the ice at the same time instead of looking at some experimentation.
Good hit by Kren. Forces the puck back down the ice. NC State will pressure it down in that right corner. Gallagher comes away with the loose puck. Circles in that corner. Throws it back behind the net, picked up opposite side by Klein. Centers for Alfonsetti, picked off by Sparrow. His clearance, though, is thrown right back in on net. Holmes ready for it. He sticks it away. Ian Hawkins up the right wing. He'll throw this on all the way down. And no icing called. It looked like that maybe was close. Not going to get it. NC State turns back. Up to Gallagher. Kicks it up to his stick. Up on the left wing. Gives it back top of the slot. Klein. Wrist shot off the post. He gets back the rebound, though, in the right corner. Down behind the net, Alfonsetti. He jumps out in front. His wrist shot blocked. Along the right half boards. Loose puck picked up by Alfonsetti. Tries to sidestep Sparrow. Knocked off the puck. And is cleared out by UNC. Icing again waved off.
I'm not sure why at this point.
Well, that puck skittered through a couple of NC State players. Maybe that's where you see it waved. Nevertheless, NC State trying to break out of their zone. Good hit by Mike Kren on Sizemore. Kren, the defenseman for NC State, working in that far corner. Working hard there. Kren still pressured by Sizemore. Gets it up the boards. And the shot in on Hall. He'll knock it behind the net for Klein. And now we got to watch behind the play. It looks like Sizemore wants to go with Kren. Up the ice, though, Oliver's slap shot blocked, and he's shaking up Sparrow, who will head to the bench. Back up the ice come the Tar Heels. Good move over the blue line. Wrist shot, gloved and held by Hall. And now he'll freeze it up as Sizemore comes in looking for a rebound.
I'm sure everybody wearing Wolfpack red would love to see Mike Kren take on Ben Sizemore. I mean, you talk about grinding your bones to make your bread. I think that's exactly what Mike Kren would end up doing to Ben Sizemore. It would not be pretty.
11:08 left in this game, and right now looks like Ben Sizemore, you talking about, speaking with the referee, I think, about that altercation between him and Mike Kren. He'll skate off the ice now.
Well, you would think at some point this team would just take its whipping and head back to Chapel Hill, heads hung, but no.
With it now, Hamel over the right side. Half boards, leaves it there, back to the point. Mishandled there, a good chance for NC State. Ryan Kinney out after it, he's got it. In on a breakaway, he has it slapped away by Boudreau. Great effort by Kinney for NC State, comes up just short. Behind the net, loose puck grabbed by Vincent Boudreau, up for Raditovic. His pass looking for Hamel is knocked away. Raditovic picks up the loose puck in the neutral zone. NC State there to stall it out. Hamel there as well. He takes it back for the Tar Heels. Gives it up to a teammate down the right wing. Wrist shot goes well wide, and it will ring all the way up the boards to Boudreau, left point. He'll take a slap shot through traffic. Chested down by Hall. The rebound in front. Poked over top of the net, and the Tar Heels can't find. 10:15 left in the game. Hamel circles behind the net for UNC in their offensive zone, all the way into the far corner. One-timer for Boudreau in front, loose in the slot, pad save by Hull, sprawling around, and the puck finally slides harmlessly into a corner. Good attack going for the Tar Heels. Raditovic around Kinney, throws it in front, knocked away by Hull. NC State picks up the garbage. Andrew Cook clears it all the way down for NC State. Nick Keith there for the Tar Heels, gives it to Boudreau, his defensive partner, back behind the net for Keith. He'll hold there, pressure from Banishevitz, back into the corner. Boudreau goes all the way across the ice, looking for Baglio, who will poke it past Chris Wing, who pinched to get the puck. Baglio behind the net, pushes it around. Bieberdorf in there for NC State with Banishevitz in there, trying to pull this puck out. 9.5 to go in the period. Farhat comes away with it for the Wolfpack. Up the left boards, Jimenez advances it to Bieberdorf. It's behind him, and it's knocked back in by the Tar Heels. Behind the net, Jimenez circling up the right wing, sidesteps a check, gets the puck up to Bieberdorf, who will cross in to the offensive zone, drops it for Jimenez, around one man in the slot, he scores! What a move, Luis Jimenez, 9-1 Wolfpack.
Yep, and the onslaught continues. I was waiting for Jimenez to score a goal. And, I mean, once again, this line has incredible chemistry. Jimenez knows where his teammates are, understands the best option is to shoot the puck in this scenario, and he converts on the goaltender, who is typically the starter for North Carolina. According to statistics, Trent Holmes is going to be the guy who has played the most minutes. And NC State is entering into some rarefied air here. They're looking to get double digits, and this crowd really wants them to.
Well, they've got 9 minutes to do so with an 8-goal lead. Sunda to take the faceoff against Valarelli. He wins it for NC State. To wing, up to Kristoff. Cross the left boards. Into the zone, wrist shot blocked down by Cloak. Behind the net, picked up by UNC. Centering pass, mishandled by Valarelli. He holds on to it. Kristoff, though, gets in under him and takes it away. Leaves it for the defenseman Farhat, who works behind the Wolfpack net. Up the right boards. Gives it there for Wing. His pass in the skates of Sunda, but he'll swipe it up and forward. Fredenberg along. Oh, boy, what a hit. Right to the head. Garrett Sunda there to defend him. That better be an ejection. The puck's gone.
But
that's ridiculous.
That's fists to the face. Once again, an attempt to injure.
Well, you try to call it as it is up here in the booth. There's
and Garrett
no other
Sunda's
way.
Going at it with Spiro now. This is incredulous. I have never seen a hockey game get this out of control.
Well, this is when you know you have a team beat. NC State has the Tar Heels right where they want them. At this point, you just have to play good hockey for the last 8.5 minutes, and you will run away with this.
I put this all on Jeff Folkman, just like Nero watching Rome burn, fiddling as it does. This is incredulous. I have never seen a coach or an officiating crew lose so much control of a single team and a single hockey game.
Well, we're still waiting to see what the penalties will be. And it doesn't even look like Sparrow's in the box yet. He's still standing outside in front of the Carolina box. In the box right now, Sarah Valarelli, number 24. And for NC State, I'm trying to look at the number. I
can't see the number from here.
It looks like maybe Kristoff. I think I see an 8 on the side of that jersey. But this could be another lengthy delay as we try to figure out the penalties here. While we have a quick minute, we'll take a second to thank tonight's sponsor, Order Up. If you're ever ordering from Order Up, enter the promo code HOCKEY, as you see it on your screen, and you will receive a $7 discount off of your order.
My apologies. That thud you just heard was me dropping my headset, so sorry if that got to your ears a little bit.
And as you see it close up there, that is number 8, Andrew Kristoff, in the box for NC State. And while they continue,
which is the right call because he did initiate the tackle after the play.
Well, while they work out these penalties, we're going to step aside briefly and take a quick break. When they make the decision and have the call, we'll come right back to you. Right now, you're watching NC State hockey on Wolfpack Sports Television. We'll be right back. NC State up 9-1 on the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Are you guys hungry? I'm pretty hungry. Order up.
Oh, awesome.
Hurry, I'm starving.
My name is Ben Hefner, and I work mostly as a cameraman, but do some announcing every now and then. Let's see, I came in at one point last year, 2 years ago, so about 2 years, yeah. I'd really like to be a journalist, actually a sports journalist, but I could also work in a lot of different things, obviously. I work here with Wolfpack Sports TV, and this kind of works pretty fun as well. So I'd still go a few different ways, so trying to figure that out a little bit. Favorite sport to watch is probably basketball, especially college basketball. I just think it's pretty unmatched in kind of emotions that it brings up. Probably a tie between soccer and basketball. I played both of them in high school, and I still love to play both of them. Favorite team's tough. I have a lot of different teams, but I'd say as far as professional teams go, Chelsea FC over in England probably brings the most emotional response out of me. So soccer kind of does that too, but yeah, I'm probably going to go with Chelsea. Well, personally, I've never been a super athlete, so my accomplishments are pretty modest, but I remember in high school, I scored the 100th point in my high school's only ever 100-point game in basketball. And yeah, I think later I actually also scored the point to set the...
All right, we are back here in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Raleigh Iceplex, home of the NC State Wolfpack, hosting the North Carolina Tar Heels. 8:26 left in the third period, 9-1 NC State leads. We finally have the answers for you. It will be a 5-minute major to Sean Sparrow for his hit on Fredenberg, and I believe it's Valarelli and Kristoff, as well as Sunda, who's now in the box for NC State. And I believe they will get minors. We'll see what comes of this.
But that doesn't calculate unless there was an extra 2-minute penalty levied to somebody against Carolina in the box right now.
I would have to guess it would be Sparrow. He was the one that was in an altercation down here with Sunda. So I would guess he has to have an extra 2 minutes in there somewhere.
It's amazing to me that he escaped without a game misconduct penalty, which would have effectively ejected him from the game. I mean, at some point, you've got to start thinning out this roster line. And he's already having a conversation across the bench. That is not supposed to be allowed.
Well, the play will continue 4-on-4, it looks like, for 2 minutes before NC State gets the man advantage. Pass all the way up the ice. Icing waved off again. Kren down there to pick it up for NC State behind the net. Sean Bly up the boards looking for Medill. Too long. Medill knocks his man off the puck. Raditovic there to pick up the loose change. In they come, Hamel and Raditovic. Behind the net, Brendan Raditovic. In front, Hamel, one-timer stopped by Hall. Rebound picked up by Kren. Throws it up the boards, held in by Boudreau at the left point. Leaves it there for Hamel, left circle, into the slot. Centering pass, poked in front, save made by Joey Hall. And there to pick up the change was Sean Bly. Still with it, Raditovic. Centering pass all the way through the slot and out. Good chance for NC State. Medill and Banashevitz 2-on-1. Banashevitz the shot, blocked by Holmes, and the puck deflects into the corner.
You want to see proper rebound control? Well, Scott Jackson, take note because that's how you do it. It's off the outside of the shoulder and into the corner. Well done by Trent Holmes.
Puck forced back out in front. Holmes covers, but no whistle blown, so he gives it back to Boudreau behind the net. Up the left wing for Raditovic, pressured by Cook. Throws it right into Cook's shin pads, and going down Medill was the intended recipient of the pass. Doesn't get it there, and it's cleared by North Carolina. Back up to Medill, blue line to blue line. Jimenez, in he comes. Slap shot blocked by Holmes, and he knocks it into the corner. There with it, Haas, pressured by Banashevitz. Gives it back around for Boudreau. He circles off of Banashevitz into the right corner, steps past Jimenez, but the puck kept in by Cook. Spinning backhand from Banashevitz goes wide. Jimenez knocked off the puck behind the net. Boudreau with it, gets it up for Haas. As the penalty to Garrett Sunda will end here in just a couple of seconds. NC State a 3-minute man advantage. They can score as many times as they'd like.
That's right. It runs to termination. Another major penalty, second of the game against North Carolina.
Nick Keith behind the net, gives it to Hawkins. Up now for Baglio, who dumps it deep after gaining the red line. 6 minutes left in this game. NC State 9-1, the lead. Bieberdorf brings it into the offensive zone, has it knocked away there by Haas, cleared all the way back down by Baglio, and that'll waste more time.
Well, I think at this point, everybody just wants to get out of this hockey game. NC State might have another goal or two in them. They might not, but both teams are worn down. And you can tell a lot of reach and not a whole lot of foot movement.
Clearance pass, stolen at the point. Lecter comes in, and his shot is deflected high over the net. Puck stays in play, though. NC State with control behind the Carolina net. Garrett Sunda working his way out in front. Back to the point. Cook gives it on there for Oliver. He deflects it on, but he can't get it in. Back to the point. Bieberdorf to Cook. His shot again, trying to tip it. Sunda can't get a stick on it. Lecter pinches, keeps the zone, and now we'll have a whistle as the goal knocked off its moorings. It looks like the faceoff stays in the Carolina zone.
North Carolina is very fortunate that NC State did not just get their 10th goal right there. Trent Holmes had his 5-hole wide open, and the puck bounced off both of his knee pads and then was sent right back out.
Face off to his blocker side, left side of the net for the Wolfpack. Too many men on the ice for the face-off, and North Carolina has to send one off. 5-on-4 again. McDonald unable to win the face-off there, and the puck's cleared out. 1:45 left on the man advantage. 5:05 left in the game. NC State will break it out up the right wing in the form of Jack McDonald. He gives it up to Fredenberg. Backhand saucer pass to Kristoff. Oh, across to Kinney. His one-timer stopped by
Holmes. That's the best one of the game so far.
Chris Wing with it. He'll throw it deep. Far corner, Jack McDonald pressured there by Cloak.
Ryan Kinney's getting into it down low with Boudreau. A lot of stick checks going on down there. We'll keep an eye.
Puck cleared out by North Carolina. Not far, though. Still in the neutral zone. Farhat brings it back up down the right wing. Light pressure from Boudreau. Back to the point, McDonald. Right side, slap shot. Tipped in front, doesn't make it to the net. Loose puck still in the right circle. Cleared into the corner. And now we're going to have a penalty on NC State's Ryan Kinney. And now Boudreau takes off the gloves. Boudreau wants to fight. Kinney walks away, and now Vincent Boudreau should be making his way to the locker room.
He should be, because that's a clear attempt to fight. That's at least a 2-minute penalty. And I think they are going to send him. They're going to, yeah, they have to. But we're not done. We are not done by any stretch of the means. This is going to be a long 4:18.
Couple of words between Boudreau and McDonald. They both part ways, head back towards their benches. And again, the referees will gather up and...
Well, Boudreau's got to go here. He can't get away with that. That's against collegiate hockey rules. He dropped his gloves, both of them. It's not like one fell off. There was an intention to fight. He's got to go to the box.
Well,
if they do not send him, this has become a mockery of the sport of hockey. And thank goodness they will.
No, Boudreau goes to the box. And he'll take a seat there. The gate's still open, still the chance that he's taken off the ice, but...
No, it's not an ejectable offense because he never threw a punch. That's
So-
the ACHA rule. That's different from USA Hockey.
So he will stay on the ice, it looks like.
Well, I can only guess how long this 418 is going to take. I really hope that I'm severely wrong in my time estimation, but from what I can tell, this isn't just one individual North Carolina player. This is quite a few, and this is an issue. And an issue that needs to be taken up by higher authorities than just the men in the stripes here. This will be making its way to the league front office, and it's not just against NC State. It's the way this program plays, and not only is it a mockery to the game of hockey, but it's becoming dangerous to other athletes on the ice right now, and I think that's the most disturbing thing about it. This has gone on for a very long time with this program, ever since Jeff Folkman took over. Is it a coaching style issue? It is just a matter of the caliber of the players that North Carolina is picking up. I can only speculate as to that. But the fact of the matter is that when you are playing the University of North Carolina, you have to have your head on a swivel or else you risk it getting taken off.
Well, it will be a 2-minute minor assessed to Boudreau. 5-on-3 for NC State for 52 seconds. Garrett Sunda still standing out at center ice, captain for NC State, waiting to talk with the head referee here and get an explanation on the call, because it did look like there was at least intent to fight there. He didn't throw a punch, as you said, Drew.
Well, and the thing is, the other saving grace is he didn't make a grab or an intentional stride. It was just the gloves came off. If he had made a motion to the helmet, if he had made an attempt to grab, if he had made an intentional stride, or if he had thrown a punch, those are all ejectable offenses. However, just dropping the gloves can be construed as only an unsportsmanlike or a roughing minor.
So there's an explanation for you on the call that we have on Vincent Boudreau. He'll get the 2-minute minor.
I continue to be amazed at how long these delays take.
It looks like, well, I think we're just about ready to get underway, but now the referees will make their way back up to center ice. I'm not sure what there is to talk about. At this point, they'd made the call, and now they're going to the North Carolina bench.
You know, Chris, I'm wondering here, if North Carolina is approaching the 15 penalties in a single game mark. I'm not officially sure of what the ACHA rule is, but according to USA Hockey, that would mean an ejection for the coach and a suspension for the next game. I'd have to do some research on that, but right now Jeff Folkman is having a conversation over the penalty box with the official and his players.
Now they are moving the face-off from the NC State
Well, and this
zone.
is the correct call
Yep.
because the outstanding penalty is against North Carolina.
So they will move it all the way down to the North Carolina zone. As you said, Drew, that is the correct call. And it will be 4-on-3 hockey.
Third time this game.
Zach Klein and
Alfonsetti.
Alfonsetti out there for NC State, as well as Mike Kren and Sean Bly.
Sean Bly is getting an earful from Earl Anderson, and yet, Chris, this is going to be an ejection.
So now Vincent Boudreau will make his way off the ice. His night is done. Still a 2-minute power play to be served.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
sure if you can hear it through the windows, but the NC State crowd certainly giving plenty of grief.
Chris,
to
and I
Vincent
know that you've
Boudreau.
gotten one of the major troublemakers off the ice, but I'm not so sure if this is over. Earl Anderson is still, he's the general manager of this North Carolina team, and he is right in the ear of Sean Bly, who's obliging him surprisingly well, but Bly is in the Air Force ROTC program here at North Carolina State, trained to take a lot under a lot of stress.
Well, the faceoff won by NC State. Dump it deep, but Brendan Raditovic there trying to carry it out himself. And now we're going to have a penalty on NC State. Now everything will be called here on out to try and keep this under control. That would be my guess at least. Looked a little bit ticky-tacky there. I didn't see where the stick went.
I don't mind it. I mean, at this point, the game is all but over. I would rather see everything called than nothing called and we have another fighting incident.
Well, 4:09 left here in the game. Still a 9-1 lead for the Wolfpack. And 4-on-3 hockey in favor of NC State right now. Tyler Alfonzetti to take the faceoff for the Wolfpack. He'll replace Zach Klein, who sits in the box now. Mitchell Gallagher is on the ice. He will now be sent off. And it is 3-on-3 hockey.
Well, this is quite the rarity.
Faceoff, one back to Hamel. Slap shot blocked by Alfonzetti's stick. Glove down by Hall, and he'll hold on. And I'm surprised. It looked there like a stick may be broken. Looks like both of them, though, still intact. Good play, though, with the stick by Tyler Alfonzetti. Another faceoff. This time, Alfonzetti wins it for the Wolfpack. Back to Sean Bly. He'll pin it in the corner. Holding on to it there. Far side. Up to Alfonzetti. He loses it to Hamel. Back in front. Stolen away by Kren. He'll tip it into the corner. In front again from Hamel. This one gets past Raditovic and Grafius and out of the zone. Mike Kren, heavy pressure there. I
don't like the look of Mike Kren. This looks a little bit malicious for me. He's going a little too hard for a big man. I don't want to get next to him in the corner.
3.5 minutes to go. One-timer coming from Raditovic. A slap pass looking for Grafius off the mark. First penalty to Sparrow is over. 4-on-3 for North Carolina. And they will have the man advantage. Up the right wing comes Hamel. He's got Sean Sparrow with him. They'll cross. Almost losing it, Hamel. Gets it to Sparrow. Circles behind the net. Up along the left corner. Now to the point. Haas with it. Holds there. Top of the slot. Across right circle for Raditovic. All the way over for Sparrow. Left circle. He can't hold on to it. And they'll have to regroup the power play. Haas, top of the point. Slap pass over to Raditovic, right circle. He'll take a wrist shot high and wide. That one rings around the boards. Back to the point for Sparrow. Cross ice pass for Haas. He'll tee one up. Blocked by the knees of Andrew Cook. Up to the point, Sparrow. Down to the corner for Hamel. Back to Haas. Wrist shot, glove saved by Joey Hall. Excellent play by the NC State netminder.
It's a great stop by Hall, who has a fiery personality of its own. He's been pumping up the crowd. Meanwhile, the fights are going on. But for the most part, I've been very impressed with the composure of this young goaltender. He's going to improve to 8-0-0 on the year and is on track for the best start in NC State history by a freshman goaltender. Truly outstanding accomplishment by the young man from Rockville, Maryland.
The three defenders out there for him, Andrew Cook, Simon Lecter, and Sam Banashevitz. Zach Klein in the box with Ryan Kinney. They will come out here in 19 seconds. Tripped up by Banashevitz was Raditovic. No call. Play continues. Behind the net, Hamel circles back, far side, right corner. Pressured by Cook, all the way across for Sparrow on the point. His shot deflected wide, and it will deflect up into the netting behind. And that will be a face-off. Stays in the NC State zone.
You know, Chris, calling penalties is a two-way street. I'm not sure how Sam Banashevitz got away with that trip because the rule has changed. You hit the puck and the skate, you'll still get called for tripping, unlike in last year's rule book. He was nowhere close to the puck. It was stick to skate.
Pass gets out of the zone, uncontrolled by the Tar Heels. Sparrow there to dump it right back in.
Five-a-side hockey again here, Chris.
Yes, and all the penalties over now. So as you mentioned, Drew, back to full strength with 2 minutes to go. Up through the center of the ice, Bieberdorf gets it across. Down the left wing comes Banashevitz. Centering for Medill. Jimenez has it poked away. Up the boards. Hamel with speed. Pressured hard by Farhat. He'll ride him into the corner. Centering pass swept away by Chris Wing, and NC State brings it back. Jimenez gets the pass from Bieberdorf just out of the reach of Luis Jimenez, and NC State will maintain control in the offensive zone. Up at the point, Medill still with it. Jimenez, the shot in, rebound loose in front. Banashevitz can't get a stick on it, and Raditovic picks it up for North Carolina. Long pass up for Haas, cross ice. He'll bring it in. Leaves it for Baglio, knocked off the puck by Bieberdorf. Banashevitz picks up the loose puck, looking for Jimenez, too long, and it'll be scooped up by Ian Hawkins. Thrown around the boards by the Tar Heels, kept in by Banashevitz. Big slash there from Baglio on Bieberdorf. And we will get, it's going to be a call on NC State. Possession
This
with
must have
the
been
Tar
an off-puck
Heels.
penalty, I would have imagined. Oh, dear. Well, I thought we were about to see another scuffle, but Ian Hawkins just took down his own teammate. And if that hadn't been a summary of the night for North Carolina, I don't know what has been.
Well, now Jimenez will go to the box for a slash. 47 seconds left in the game. And it looks like at least NC State will end the game on the penalty kill, barring a North Carolina goal here in the final 47 seconds.
North Carolina's one tally on the night did come on the power play.
And the face-off will be to the right side, blocker side of Joey Hall. Quick face-off, one forward by Klein. He holds possession but can't get out of the zone. Big hit by Kren. He knocks his man off the puck, loose in the corner.
Again.
Scooped up by the Tar Heels. A lot of traffic in front. Puck left in the slot. Loose puck picked up by Alfonsetti. He and Klein race away down the left wing. Alfonsetti knocked off the puck, picked up and brought back out by the Tar Heels. Down the right wing, Brian Kren, the defensive pairing, thrown behind the net. Kren there. Collision behind the net as he throws that one around the boards. Held onto by the Tar Heels. Kren knocks his man off the puck. That's Kevin Travia. Kren gets out of the zone. Racing for it is Klein. He's going to come in on a Holmes. Deeks and a pad save by Holmes. Good chance for Klein at the end of the game. It doesn't go, but NC State wins 9-1.
I think the best way we can summarize this game is North Carolina just got beat 7 ways to Sunday all the way back to Chapel Hill. It has been a long time coming for this revenge victory for NC State, and it makes it a whole lot sweeter that this game was not close from about 5 minutes in. Utter domination by the Wolfpack. It's been the trend all night long. These two teams will meet again February 12th. This time it will be in Chapel Hill. And we'll see how that game goes. If it follows the same trend as this one did, it may not be pretty once again. Overall, kudos to NC State. They did what they had to do. They took care of business and put an exclamation point as well as a rubber stamp on this victory. North Carolina will go ahead and head back to Chapel Hill. They will fall to 3-5-3. NC State back up to 10-0-0. Next up for the Tar Heels, they will take on the Duke Blue Devils. It's technically a neutral site game, which is played at their home rink. North Carolina and Duke share the same home ice. For NC State, they will head to the University of North Carolina at Wilmington November 6th. That will be broadcast over the radio waves, 88.1 WKNC Raleigh. But overall, impressive effort from NC State and a big win.
Well, that will wrap up our coverage of tonight's game against the North Carolina Tar Heels. We'll be right back with head coach Mike Gazzillo and our star of the game. The final score here in Raleigh, NC State 9, North Carolina 1. That's your final. We'll be right back with some post-game analysis here on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack.
Are you guys hungry? I'm pretty hungry.
Drew Blevins alongside our co-player of the game, goaltender Joey Hall. Joey has amassed an 8-0-0 record in his first 8 games here at NC State. Joey, you beat the arch rival in your first time playing them, and now you continue this amazing streak. What are your emotions like right now?
Yeah, it feels great to win one for the team. I never really grew up hating North Carolina, but once I come here, I just feel the emotions run through me, and so it feels good to get one for the team.
Better yet, the theme throughout the night was the officiating and the physicality, and while you were not directly involved being all the way down at the goal crease, what were your observations of how that was going and being handled?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a rough game. I was saying, it's fun to watch for 20 seconds, but then not so fun to wait for 5 minutes. But, yeah, I mean, it was getting a little out of hand, really chippy. I guess I just don't like losing by a lot.
I mean, you're a fiery guy yourself. You have a lot of emotions. If you'll forgive, you tend to be a little bit of a loudmouth, always a guy who is going to energize the guys on the bus. How were you able to keep your emotions in check and remain so focused on the ice?
It's hard because, if we get a penalty, I haven't seen a shot for 5 minutes since the whole officiating goes down. But, yeah, and then you gotta get ready again. It's not too easy to just keep calm and not get. Fortunately, none of the fights were in front of me, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's hard to keep your emotions down for sure.
And finally, you will play the University of North Carolina at Wilmington Seahawks next Friday. That game will be on 88.1 WKNC over the radio waves. What are the adjustments that you need to make to go into that game prepared?
I never played Wilmington, but I'm hearing they're a pretty good team, so definitely go in headstrong, hopefully rally out of this win. I'm sure that we can put one in the net and win that one.
Joey, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
That's goaltender Joey Hall. We'll be right back with Garrett Sunda, our other co-player of the game, momentarily.
Are you guys hungry? I'm pretty hungry.
Our other co-player of the game is the captain of this NC State ice hockey team, Garrett Sunda. Garrett, we were all rooting up here for you to get the hat trick, but still 2 goals and an assist. How does it feel?
Feels great, It's a big sentimental win tonight, being my last home game against UNC. There's really nothing like that. And then coming out and playing with an incredible crowd out here that we had tonight, there's really no words I can use to explain that. Definitely going to be a memory for me.
I mean, you were bumped off of the top scoring line in the ACCHL by virtue of the fact of graduation and a couple of teammate shifts. What's the chemistry like on your line right now?
It's good. It's good. We've been working pretty well together. It's nice to have Freddie back tonight after his dislocated shoulder. Coming back, he helped a lot. And then working with Christoph tonight, too. I think that we've started to work really well together.
For the most part, you were able to remain level-headed throughout the physicality, but what was your reaction to the way the game was handled and the way North Carolina came out and played chippy?
I think in a way it's to be expected. When you play UNC, it's going to be a chippy game no matter what. And I mean that's just part of it, but it's something that we have to deal with, overcome, and then keep putting points up on the scoreboard.
North Carolina Wilmington is certainly not going to be another University of North Carolina by any stretch of the means. This is an upset-minded team. You're 12th in the Southeast. What do you have to do to beat that team in Wilmington?
Come out strong. That's really it, and stay focused throughout the week. Be ready to go.
Garrett, congrats on the win. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Drew.
That's Captain Garrett Sunda. We'll be back with a man behind the mustache, head coach Mike Gazzillo, after this short break. Well, now we're joined by the coaching staff of this NC State hockey team coming off of the 9-1 victory against arch-rival North Carolina. We're going to start over here with the head coach, Mike Gazzillo. Coach, 6 years behind the bench. You've only lost to UNC twice. How does this rank up there with the rest of them?
Well, we won this one, so it ranks pretty good. Far better than those other 2 you mentioned. I mean, listen, anytime you beat your in-state rival, it's good. I mean, there are some things that I'd like to see our team improve in, but that's stuff we'll work on in practice and everything. But, I mean, it was good. I mean, we got our first quarter ranking, and we came in 13th in the Southeast. We just found that out, and so the guys have been rolling along, and, I know they wanted to win it too. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the win.
And now we're going to turn it over to the assistant coach. Coach Wing, you were a spectator at last year's North Carolina game. What's it like now being on the bench and part of the action?
I love it. As Mike said, we executed really well. A lot of things we worked on in practice during the week, covering the front of our net, getting out quickly, getting a lot of shots on net and rebounds. Guys executed really well. Honestly, it feels better being part of the action and the team versus being on the spectator side.
I mean, we've talked all night about the offense, but your defensive staff played an outstanding game as well, only allowing North Carolina to score 1 goal and holding them below 30 shots. What did they do so well to get that success?
I think they what we've been working on is everybody in our slot marking up. So our 2 defensemen had their mark, and honestly, the forwards came back and got that third guy as well. A lot of times in hockey, you find that third man high will come in undetected and get a shot. Actually, the whole team did a good job of detecting that and keeping the shots low or out on the outside.
Coach Gazzillo, this team continues to score the puck and score the puck at will. This is the highest goal total all season. What is the offense doing that is allowing them to be so successful?
Moving the puck well, finding each other, talking to each other. Sometimes I think they're a little too unselfish, and we could get some shots, and they're trying to pass. But, I mean, some of the goals are just, tick, 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 and shot, and it's in. So, they do a lot of that on their own in practice, and just moving the puck, communicating, I think that's been a big key.
And you can say all you want about the success of NC State, but still it seems like it was all overshadowed by the raw physicality and the loss of control in certain points of the game. I'm not asking you to sound off, but I do want to know your opinion of the way this game was handled and what the North Carolina Tar Heels had going through their mind, if you could put yourself on their bench. What are they doing? What is the proper response, and what needs to be done to try to keep this a clean rivalry?
I don't really feel that I can or should speak for UNC's bench. I don't know what was being said there. I don't know how much really was being said between the guys on the ice. Some of my guys were chirping. I know some of their guys were chirping. But, look, all I did was I tried to tell them to keep it clean. I told the refs, you need to keep this game under control. I don't think they did, and I think we saw that. I don't think it was well called either way.
And Coach Wing, I mean, you've been in pretty gritty games yourself going back to your head coaching days through the Rye-Haw organization in Carolina Youth and Amateur Hockey. How does the grit and determination and toughness of this game rank up with your head coaching career?
I think the big difference is the speed. I think the physicality is similar when you get to the older age groups, but I think just that the speed is a lot faster. The hits come a little harder because they're coming a lot faster, but a lot of the grinding down low is about the same. But certainly getting used to that, puck movement, as Mike said, and then the speed down low is a big difference.
And finally, Coach Gazzillo, we come back to you. You will face off against the University of North Carolina at Wilmington at the Wilmington Ice House Friday, 10 p.m., latest start you've had this season. This is a Seahawks team that is upset-minded. It's a very skilled program. What are you going to have to do to beat the Seahawks to stay undefeated?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. We just don't seem to have a lot of luck against them down there. So hopefully we can change that around. I think if we do the defensive things that Jeff talked about, and I think if we move the puck and just get the puck to the net, law of averages, like I said, you get enough shots, a couple of them are going to go in. And, I expect it's a kind of a small rink, and they have a crowd similar to ours. So these guys will get to be on the opposite side of that fanfare. So I think it'll be a good challenge for them.
Last question, Coach. What kind of awesome ice cream are you getting for the celebration tonight?
The Klondike Candy Crunch bars with chocolate. Forget about it. That's awesome. Wicked awesome.
Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, man.
That's the coaching staff of the North Carolina State Wolfpack ice hockey team. They defeat their rival, the North Carolina Tar Heels, by a final count of 9-1. NC State next takes the ice at Wilmington as they will take on the University of North Carolina Wilmington Seahawks. Game time will be at 10 p.m. Chris Lehman and myself will have the call on 88.1 WKNC Raleigh. Our next telecast will be on November 7th as NC State will take on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons in another ACCHL matchup. Signing off for Chris Lehman and the rest of our technical crew, I'm Drew Blevins. You've been watching NC State Hockey on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack. Have a lovely weekend.
Are you guys hungry? I'm pretty hungry. Order up.
Oh, awesome.